Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Disclaimer: Fair Use Act. Education purpose use only. All rights, image, and music clip belong to their prospective owner, and we do not claim ownership. Welcome back to the game, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. I told y'all I was gonna come back with this stuff. All right. I'm gonna wait till a couple of people get in her game so we can do a lot of catching up. All right. Now, let's pick up where we left off at. Cause I told y'all I saved all these videos on my little like list about the Jeffrey Epstein. When it comes to the Kanika Jenkins, what they did to her is what they've been doing all over the world. All over the world, bro. Check this out. Here go the playlist.
Jeffrey Epstein bought helicopters for his friends. As birthday gifts, Epstein arranged military helicopters for his friends so they could fly through Afghanistan mountains and hunt down farmers. Wait, what? Time to speak. Sorry for all the typos. I'm in a remote valley in Afghanistan. It's my birthday wish with boys with toys. Spent time with Petraeus. Wait, wasn't that an American Army general? Yesterday, and he loaned me a chopper. What? Actually, two, with one as backup. Can't call till tomorrow. Who does?
So ain't this funny that this man got military power? Could ride in war zone. The reason why they in Afghanistan, right? Because what the files said, that's why they had to get Bin Laden out of there. Because he discovered the tomb of Gilgamesh. That's Nimrod in the Bible that was building the Tower of Babylon. The Tower of Babylon was in Iran. Iran is Babylon. I think Afghanistan. Check this out.
Is this?
This may be the most creepy painting I've ever seen, and I think I may have figured out who it is. But first, we need to break down the image itself. On the table, we can clearly see Chase J.P. Morgan on the cash. We have a man with flowers behind his back, in his boxers, covering his mouth with what appears to be a shush sign. And disturbingly, to his left is a mirror with a reflection of Snow White. Now, if you go to the DOJ website and you type in Snow White, 60 results will pop up. In one of those files is a message from Jess Staley stating, "That was fun, say hi to Snow White." And Jeffrey responds, "What character would you like next?" Now I found an even more disturbing email that was sent on the exact same date as the prior email. It was a message from someone who's redacted, which is very odd to me, to Jeffrey. It reads, "The Snow White was effed twice as soon as she put on her costume." Now if that wasn't disturbing enough, with a little bit of research you would see that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the 1937 version, Snow White was only 14 years old. Now referring back to the emails, who is Jess Staley? Well, Jess Staley worked at JP Morgan from 1990 to 2013. Maybe that's just a coincidence, but take a look at this. With a quick Google search, you can see a very strange image. Jess Staley with his finger over his mouth. Well, that looks oddly similar to the painting that we were just looking at. If you put these two images side by side, you can't tell me that is not the same.
So, man, look. Everything makes sense when you open the file, be like that. How he tied to the JP Morgan firm? You know what I'm saying? Look what he doing to these people. Right? Hold on. I saved this video because this is a Corvette hood. Right? And look at a woman. It's you see what I'm saying? Check this out.
Well, folks, the rabbit hole just got that much deeper. So you remember the other day where I showed you the images, the side by side of Ghislaine Maxwell appearing before in a congressional hearing via video, right, with her lawyer. And that was on February 9th. And people did the facial comparisons. Even plastic surgeons have stepped up, all types of people, and said, that is impossible for it to be her. But my oh my, I did not expect them to get this sloppy. Or maybe they're disclosing because we don't know the person who filmed this, if they're part of it. They want us to know, just like they're now disclosing that there's aliens. There's no such thing as aliens. These are demons. But yeah, guys, I want to show you this as well as some other things going on with this whole Epstein case. And this is insane. Like, they are either, they want it in our faces, they want us to know that that this is what's happening and there's nothing we can do about it, or people are we're just getting lucky and discovering these things right now. But take a listen to this. Now, this is Itty Bitty Tara, too, on TikTok. She does great videos, not just about stuff like this, but she shows like the signs and wonders, the birth pains of the earth, ties it back to Jesus Christ returning, all of those things that we need to be looking for. And the things I prefer to talk about. Last night, I just started watching, after all this mess, I just started watching beavers build a dam and looking at how they're so creative and able to do this. Like, I'm serious. You have to cleanse your palate, or it will overwhelm you. It will overwhelm you. But guys, do not fear. Do not be overwhelmed, because the end is almost soon. And I, for one, cannot wait for Jesus' return. But take a look at this, guys, and you tell me. Now, sorry, it's going to look weird. I don't know. The update on X now has things moving in weird places. But yeah, you tell me.
Listen up.
Solar's down over here. Your fishing pond's up top. South.
Gillen? Do I know you? You know Gillen?
No, sorry.
No.
And that's that lady for real. Supposed to be in jail. Now, this crazy to me. I thought I'd never to live to see some stuff like this. Sure, like, man, these people claiming to be in jail, but they breaking out of jail, escorted out of jail. Look, these people got more power than the president. Yeah.
I used to order Hello Pizza off for. Gillen? Do I know you? You know Gillen?
No, sorry.
No. I used to order Hello Pizza off for.
Oh, really?
She always delivered, yeah.
Oh,
Yes, that was exactly who you thought that was. This is Maxwell. If you look at the woman in the video, it's the same woman. When he said her name, she actually looked. Same bridge of the nose and same spacing in the teeth. Even AI says it's the same person. The guy with her in the video is her brother. Looks exactly the same. We already know through the PDF files that J.E. did not hang himself. He was removed the day before. And guess who was president at that time? And they want us to believe that the woman they moved to a luxury prison, this person is that person. Nope.
And check this out. Everybody knows this is a totally different lady posing as her. Then these people release a video like this her jail cell. This what she be doing. If you watch the jail cell videos, that ain't even her. That's somebody else.
She's living her best life in Ontario, Canada. And how was she able to do this? Through the same administration that let J.E. leave as well. Sometimes I wish I wasn't awake, because the information that we receive is just mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing how corrupt our government is.
Now, the only thing I don't agree with her with is about the administration. It does not matter, guys, any administration. None of this matters, left or right. That's gone. That is done away with. Guys, we are in good versus evil. And whether it's people in the administration that are knowing that they're doing this, or government workers, or they're, as the Bible says, that the governments are essentially owned, ruled by Satan himself. It doesn't matter, guys. We are at the end.
And that's what I'm basically saying. When I was looking into the Kenneka Jenkins case, bruh, I never heard of Jeffrey Epstein. And then when I looked at all the patterns around her, I'm like, damn, if you're gonna solve this murder, you gotta solve an ancient murder. Like, then you'll understand, like, damn, that's why they got to do reenactments and all of this. All right, next video. This is where I want to get to.
The Jolie Pitt children are constantly in the crosshairs.
Now, I remember in the 90s, she adopted this black girl right here. Now, in the 90s, it was big in the 90s that celebrities were doing a whole lot of adopted kids. Every time you turn on the night show, a celebrity talking about they adopted the kids and they trying to save Africa. But the whole time, she really adopted this girl just to sacrifice the girl. Because this girl ended up dead. Watch this.
Of the cameras. At the same time, they try to protect their privacy. But we managed to find out some unexpected details about their lives today. Who attempted to bring the star parents together during their divorce? Who recently completely dropped Pitt's name? And did Maddox finally patch things up with Brad?
Is he going to come and visit? Do you want him to come and visit? Oh, I don't know about that. How do you mean?
It's been almost 22 years since Jolie first met Maddox as a baby in Cambodia. The actress instantly felt like he was a heavenly gift.
And check this out. You adopting farm kids. I believe they the A-list celebrity. And they got those kids from a trafficking market. The slave market still exists. Hold on. This the 90s.
Yeah, put him in my arms and he stayed asleep. And then he opened his eyes and he smiled.
Over the past few years, Maddox has been residing and studying in South Korea at one of the country's top colleges. It was challenging for Jolie to let her eldest child go so far away.
Oh, I know. This would be telling not to cry.
Maddox chose not to follow in his parents' footsteps and is studying biochemistry. However, he occasionally gets drawn into the entertainment world. On First They Killed My Father, Maddox served as an executive producer. And last year, he and his brother Pax helped Jolie on her movie Without Blood. They were involved in the assistant director's department on the Italian set. Both boys were also there during the filming of Angie's upcoming movie, Maria. See how cute they were supporting their mom? Pax was in charge, and Maddox held the umbrella.
He's very studious. He's very much more than I am. He's actually, when we did our notes in the production meetings, his were always better than mine.
But Maddox is not a newcomer to the movie industry. At the age of 11, he had a cameo in Brad Pitt's movie World War Z. At that time, they were on good terms, but the situation has changed since then. According to rumors, Maddox still can't forgive his father for the plane incident. If you recall, a reportedly drunk Brad had a confrontation with Angelina in front of their children. Maddox tried to protect his mom, but the actor allegedly pushed him. Since then, he no longer sees himself as Brad's son.
Yeah, is your relationship with him sort of over, or... Well, whatever happened to him?
It was reported that Maddox and Brad were supposed to meet in 2020, but whether that meeting took place is unknown. Probably not. Because later he spoke out in court against Brad in support of his mom.
All right, make a long story short. Where that girl there? Right here. She ended up dead. If you look at the background, they got a background. Her mama supposed to die of AIDS. Her mama was raped. And she took the baby in. Right? This was in the 90s, right? Next video.
Was this done on purpose?
Let me know if you think they did this on purpose. So someone recently found out that if you go to the Epstein library on DOJ's website, and now instead of searching for something specific, you search for no images produced and hit search. It's going to show you thousands of PDF documents, and when you open them, it's just going to have this blank page that says no images produced. But if you go to the URL up top and remove the PDF part and then type in MP4 and hit enter, you'll find videos that I guess were labeled with the wrong file extension. For instance, here's an hour-long one of a jail cell camera with a whiteboard placed in front of it.
I'm gonna just click on one on page 340, okay? So, wait, what the fuck? It just automatically downloaded a file.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society. It's so secret we can't talk about it. What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
Tim Russert, the moderator of Meet the Press and NBC's Washington bureau chief, collapsed and died early this afternoon.
Orlando Brown told a story that many will use to affirm his insanity. But when you
now look, did you know George Bush helped started the CIA? And they one that planned it, JFK assassinations? I didn't even know that. They all was in the same 332 Skulls and Bones.
hear a pastor talk about an experience that is similar to what Orlando Brown said, makes you question how crazy is Orlando Brown. Watch this.
No, you can have different approaches. My approach is always to the demon, what is your name? I said, what is your name? He said, my name is Jason. I said, that's a stupid name for a demon. He said, you the one stupid, I'm human. He said, the demons couldn't get the job done. They too weak for y'all. So I came to kill her myself. So Satan was getting witches, humans, to lay their bodies down. It's called astral projection. Lay their bodies down, you travel.
How crazy is Orlando Brown?
Switch people out, and he does it right in front of them, and he says like, yo bro, like, I'll switch your wife out and I'll put another one of your wife in her side of her body, and they're walking around and you think that's your wife and it's not your wife. This is what's going on.
Now, nowhere in the Bible does it attribute human possession to another human spirit.
Who knows what fucking happens with all this Epstein file shit? It just keeps getting crazier and crazier. Ro Khanna and Massey just released the names of these guys that had been redacted from the list, and one of them is Les Wexner, right? Who's the former owner, CEO of Victoria's Secrets. He's being named as a co-conspirator now. Yes. Yeah, so he's...
So it would make sense that he will own Victoria's Secret and all his models were damn near were underage.
Being named along with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. Because, you know, he runs this modeling, Victoria's Secrets, hot girls, the whole deal. Somehow or another, he's involved in this.
Take two. Take 2 and 2, 1. This is as close as we can get to the base.
Now look, you remember in 2001, when you go back to the Jeffrey Epstein interview, he told everybody it was a financial crisis. The stock market plummeted. And it was all because of Bill Clinton. So, this when you got Bin Laden done discovered the tomb of Gilgamesh. And whatever he discovered what the Bible said in Genesis about the Tower of Babylon. So that's why you have George Bush put it all on Hussein them and Bin Laden to throw everybody off, and it was a scroll in the Wall Street at that exact same time. And guess what they did? They staged a world terrorist attack. They staged a world and killed innocent people.
Of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way. Police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now raining debris.
So he had to hear an explosion. Cause look, there was a demolition control. This was a controlled demolition, bro.
Debris on all of us. We better get out of the way. Oh my God, there it goes.
So, if you got, at that time, Bin Laden is discovering King Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord in the book of Genesis, and he called himself building the tower. Now look at, you got the World Trade Center knocking down. Like, think about the Tower of Babylon, how that building structure, you know what I'm saying? It's the same pattern. Like this. Boom.
Yo, did you see his last girlfriend backing him up? Her Twitter is still up right now, and she's defending him, saying, oh, he was just put in these rituals, other people were making him. Really? But some streamer on Twitch, he goes to the files, her username was there, and what was the subject line? What? Beef jerky.
Wow.
In the same email.
Yeah, she's just talking.
Yeah, we knew, that confirms it. That confirms that she was trying to back him up.
And beef jerky stand for human meat. Look, it stands for human meat.
I seen that they have a new code word. I don't know if we talked about this code word.
What's the code word?
Jerky.
Oh no, I didn't know about this one.
Jerky is human or child meat.
Really?
Yeah. Because in a bunch of emails, it's like, can I try your jerky?
I didn't see those.
You need to help the jerky walk to this. Why would jerky need to walk? Beef jerky, delicious. Thank you. And it was a bunch of people saying jerky stuff. Hold on.
There's another word too.
Look, there's one bag of beef jerky in the fridge at 71st. Please get it. And also, Blank has more at his place. Please get it. I suppose it needs to be consoled in an insulated bag.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was
that's crazy.
The old slaves were killed for reading, and the new slaves won't read to stay alive. They said that slaves were taken from Africa, but this is not true. People were taken from Africa and were made into slaves. When the missionaries came to Africa, they had the Bible, we had the land. They said, let us pray. We closed our eyes. When we opened them, we had the Bible and they had the land. Now when brothers fight the debt, the stranger inherits that very land. They said that our ancestors added nothing to civilization because they weren't civilized, yet their museums are filled with stolen treasures from all over Africa made in the images and likeness of our African ancestors.
Proudly and humbly accept, on behalf of the people of Chicago, the nomination of the Democratic candidate for mayor of Maxwell.
So breaking news, an Iranian F-4 Phantom just crashed in training, killing a top pilot for Iran right as Trump's ultimatum drops that a deal needs to be made in the next 10 to 15 days or something bad will happen. U.S. jets are also flooding into the region, with China giving high-fidelity satellite imagery to Iran to show F-35s and EA-18Gs in Jordan. But this is a big message, seeing this F-4 go down, because Iran's F-4s, their F-14s, they're barely flying. So Iran's going to lean more.
So basically, the war ain't just really about oil, gas, diamonds, or gold. It's about the holy sites. All those stories in the Bible, it's a lot of things that ain't been discovered yet. And it's hard for them to discover if you make, just say like satellite images. they only picking up the way the structure is built. They built it out of dirt, so it'll be impossible for you to look from it from the sky. You actually got to walk and travel that land. That's how you define stuff. Because I was looking on Google Map and I clicked on like somewhere in Africa. And it could be a big ass rock right there. But if you go down on the land, you'll be like, damn, this is an entryway through a rock.
Or on drones like the Shahhed drone for asymmetric hits. They're also going to lean on their ballistic missiles and their proxy armies. And all this happened with this new level of Chinese support with the satellite images. China's also dropping off that J-20 model, basically giving false confidence to Iran. At this point, it's like China sees that Iran has beer muscles, and instead of telling them to calm down, they're basically encouraging them to get into a fight with the biggest guy at the bar.
With the release of the Epstein files, this
Now look, he in the Epstein files. He is named in the Epstein file. Guess what he got to say about the files?
video couldn't have aged any worse.
And the craziest fake news of all is something called Pizzagate. People actually believe a conspiracy theory that Hillary Clinton and her former campaign manager, John Podesta, ran a child's ring at a pizzeria in D.C. This is a lie. Now, according to the folks with the spider eggs hatching in their brains, Clinton and Podesta have a series of smuggling tunnels that connect to the basement of this pizzeria. So where did this conspiracy theory start? Apparently, some alt-right folks were combing through Clinton campaign emails and noticed there seems to be more references to pizza and pizzerias than they had expected, which can only mean one thing: secret ring.
Told you. He a part of it. He's saying all of this shit is a lie. There's no way that they doing none of this. All right.
The one boy. Now listen to this. I have to tell you this. Okay. So after I left the party, and the next day I smoked weed, and then I get in the limousine and I leave. I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal over here. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And my mom's there and she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean tell them what happened? And I sit down with them and they all ask these super sexually exploiting, questions, back-sided questions. And I knew that at my age already. And I looked at all 4 of them and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, you're crazy. And I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, well, I think something happened, I think something. I'm like, really?
Michael Jackson in the in the Jeffrey Epstein files, right? And I want to look at it like this here. I don't believe Michael touched those kids. I believe Michael seen what these people were doing to kids. And he like, I'm going to just bring the kids to his ranch. He was ready for them to come on with his Neverland ranch instead of going on to the Epstein Island. I can see that now. Because he ain't the first person that said that. They try to get all the other people say Michael Jackson touched you. They be like, he never did that. It's a pimp out of Chicago. Not of Chicago, but out of California named Ronnie Newton. Ronnie Newton. He's a pimp. Matter of fact, listen to what Ronnie Nuke said. Hold on. Yeah.
See, one thing you gotta get first. You gotta get the whole mind first, and then you get the pussy. You understand? I always look for a big, good-looking bitch with a good pussy, look like a whole two get ready to scream, cause it's sellable. And the Armadillo flavor. I got to have that bitch like that. Bitch be cut like an hourglass. Some bitches body be, sometimes a bitch have a body cut like an hourglass, trapped in the body, and I gotta bring it out to bed. I get them light, bright, and almost white. Young tenor ready to surrender. That's how I get at a bitch. You know what I'm saying? When a bitch get old, I send a bitch out to the pasture to eat brown grass. She can't eat green grass no more. That's for my thoroughbreds. Like them.
Look. See, he had some sons. And he knew Michael Jackson. I'm trying to find that part when he was telling, he said, man, the FBI came to my house and was trying to tell me, hey, say Michael Jackson, we'll pay you millions of dollars to say, Michael Jackson touch your kids. And he was like, no, I ain't going for that. No, I ain't finna allow that, man. What that John there? I can't find that John. But he's saying it on this video. He said the police tried to pay him to tell the world Michael Jackson touched his kids.
Now they do it in Chicago, they do it in New York, they do it. But man, what about Frisco? When we gonna get out? When we gonna get our money like everybody get their money? We gotta stop hating and start congratulating with each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's play together. Because we are from Frisco and Oakland.
It's got to be right under her.
You fool yourself when you say that.
There's a spell on my mind.
But y'all can go watch this, the Running New Pimpin' documentary, right? He in this documentary, he been told the world like, man, the police tried to, because he was a big pimp in California. Big serious pimping, right? And he got caught up in some pimping charges. All right.
That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving, everything you could think of. We rode 4-wheelers, 5 hours, me, him, and Chris Tucker in the mountains at nighttime after his birthday party. Him and I hung out and talked pretty much all.
The number of the beast is not 666. That's a translation. That's the number. The cross swords, Bismillah, which means in the name of Allah. This is what he saw. It was Aramaic. The Bible's written in Aramaic, not English. So we look and we go, 666. No, that's what he saw. XLFS. If that doesn't shock you, I don't know what will. Who is Lucifer? Lucifer is a translation. If you check the Hebrew, check it when you go home, Bible.cc. His name is Hallel, which Aramaic is halal. It means crescent moon. What's on most of your food products today? Halal. Whatever this spirit is going to own the food chain. And none of you are going to be able to buy or sell unless you got the mark, the name, or the number of the beast.
This is so messed up. I seen something really messed up in the Jeffrey Epstein files. So they found a file talking about them cloning celebrities so that they can do things to the young version of that celebrity that they wanted.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So they were investing billions into cloning and trying to clone celebrities, specifically Britney Spears at the time, so that they could do things to a young version of.
Now, I remember when Britney Spears' career jumped off. Man, she was the most famous child singer back then. Then I remember they tried to paint an image on that girl, you know, making her like she was going crazy and all this, and she was shaving her hair, and like Britney Spears on drugs, and I remember all of that. It makes so much sense that nobody didn't know nothing about Jeffrey Epstein. This how long the man was around. He exposed all this in his interviews. He basically told you what was the new world order is what is about to happen.
Of that clone. Oh my, insane.
Now,
I would be remiss if I don't address the elephant in the room, which is the Epstein files, which have been making people crazy for the last week or 10 days. People are losing their minds. I just want to tell you, the Bible says, the scriptures tell us that in the end days, lawlessness will not get worse. It doesn't say that. It says evil will be revealed. It will be unmasked. So what we're seeing with these files is an uncovering of what has been going on for a long, long time.
Told you.
Why are they
this shit in the Bible?
Redacted. You're going to tell us about the heinous crime, but not tell us who did it? Why? What good does that do? It just spins everybody up into a place of craziness.
There's one of them where Jeffrey Epstein is talking about pandemic planning to someone named Bill, whose name is redacted. Why are you redacting the guy's name that you're talking about planning for a pandemic? Like, do you say that?
That's crazy. All these pandemics we got, it was already planned. COVID-19, swine flu, bird flu, all of that shit was planned.
The aliens are coming in the next 2 weeks.
What is that, and why are they eating it? 24 years as a chef, I've never seen chicken look like that. Why is it slightly pink? And why are billionaires flying to a private island to eat plain-looking chicken on a plane? What is that, and why are they eating it? 24 years as a chef, I've never seen chicken look like that. Why is it slightly pink? And why are billionaires flying to a private island to eat plain-looking chicken on a plate?
You know that's Herman meat. And I will check this out. Don't y'all know it's a survivor. One of the Jeffrey Epstein survivors came out, and she was describing how Jeffrey really is. The lady said she never saw the man just eat food. She always seen him snacking, but never just actually when he do eat, he don't eat in front of them. I know that's Herman meat.
You simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to.
All right. It's a white man and told everybody about the Bitcoin, the crypto coin, and all of this shit. He said if you find out the person who created the Bitcoin, you will get out of there immediately. And check this out. And it's going to be a financial crisis. The stock market look, this is what they're going to do. Replace money with digital money. And guess how they're going to do it?
To think about it.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we, as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government-guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve banks.
We don't want a world where our children would be in the damn future because they'll be all fucked up. And that's what, if you go back and look at JFK, that's what he was trying to tell his wife. She was like, you changed, you changed. He said, of course I've changed. I got knowledge and my eyes have opened.
Did you know this? If you look, JFK got assassinated. Look who Jackie married after his death. She married a dude that was also had something to do with her husband's death. She turned around and married him. Right? Look.
It's not about our 2 cars. It's not about what these children eat and all that type of stuff, saying, hell, we might not even have a world for them to go to. So this is the concept on what we talk about by eliminating personal responsibility. Take personal responsibility. We're saying eliminate that personal responsibility, and the only responsibility you need is the knowledge to be your main agenda.
The universal God. When you get in order with that, you don't have to worry about nothing. When you get home tonight, take out your checkbook and write yourself a $1 billion check. And when you get through laughing, understand this. The check is good until you try to cash it. So all you got to do is know that. How many times somebody in your life give you a bad check? You didn't know it was bad till you carried it to the bank. So when you walking around, you got a $1 billion check, then you got to act like you're a billionaire. That's all, it's that simple. And then something comes off of you that you can't be messed with. Huh? That's how simple it is. You think you're a fool, you'll act like a fool. You think you poor, you act the way they tell you poor people supposed to act. Huh? Plant. You want to grow corn, you plant a seed. It works with everything else. Plant. You want to get a new car, buy the keychain and put it away. The car come to you. That's what the real God is about.
My job as the FBI director is to
Is the answer yes or no to whether or not you met with these women who were sexually abused and raped?
This Hollywood actress called out everyone's hypocrisy right to their faces, and their silence said everything.
In 1997, I was raped by Harvey Weinstein here at Cannes. This festival was his hunting ground. I want to make a prediction. Harvey Weinstein will never be welcomed here ever again. He will live in disgrace, shunned by a film community that once embraced him and covered up for his crimes. And even tonight, sitting among you, there are those who still have to be held accountable for their conduct against women. You know who you are. But most importantly, we know who you are. And we're not going to allow you to get away with it any longer.
They also found Jeffrey Epstein's Minecraft account. What? Yeah, so they found not just his Minecraft account, they found that he was actually a Minecraft YouTuber. I did not know.
That's crazy. This man was a YouTuber. Bro, I thought I was tripping when I was breaking the Kanika Jigga case down. I'm like, y'all, these people are YouTubers. And look what he got. He a YouTuber. And he got banned off of Xbox because he was trolling. Hold on.
Yeah, so they found an email in the files. Was an email from YouTube.
Yeah.
And the email from YouTube was saying it's replying about a comment that he commented on a Markiplier video.
What?
Yeah, so they looked at the channel, and the channel's called Guns A-Blazing. What makes it so sus is the Minecraft skin Gavin is very Jeffrey Epstein.
Is
look,
it a kid?
It is.
No.
And look how it's dressed.
Oh no.
Yeah, bro.
The FBI just dumped 3 million pages, 2,000 videos, and 180,000 images.
Unredacted or redacted Epstein files on the public and said, you know what, here you go, have fun. Kind of like a TikTok challenge.
May I have your attention, please?
Can you find the pedophile? You want me to do your job? Are you serious? You have the FBI. You have unlimited resources, unlimited power, unlimited budgets. You want some guy on Reddit cross-referencing flight logs at 2 a.m. while he's eating Cheetos?
Huh? Who?
The biggest sex trafficking scandal in modern history. Billionaires, politicians, royalty, all hanging out on Pedophile Island, and the US government response is like, hey guys, let the internet figure it out. Good luck. Are you serious? What is this? A group project? You want TikTokers playing a game of Clue? Hey,
take a look at this. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail?
Is the FBI too busy to do their job?
Letting pedophiles be teachers or...
They should have released a name. They should have arrested predators. They should have held the trials like a functioning justice system.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
In third world countries, they would release nothing. Keep us in the dark, like a self-respected dictatorship. This choose your own adventure bullshit, figure it out on your own. What kind of service is this? Like, I mean, the government takes half of my money so I can do its job and then sends the other half to Israel. This is just like dysfunctional.
My job is done here.
If you had the Bible was written centuries ago, and it's saying, hey, it's going to be a time where the evil is going to reveal itself. That means we damn near in the last days.
This one file found in the Epstein files tells you so much. So as you can see, this is a photo that Jeffrey Epstein sent to himself. Now, we don't know exactly the context of this photo, but there are some interesting characters present. Obviously, we can see right here, there's Elon Musk. And as you can see up top, this email was sent in 2015. You can also see right here, there is Mark Zuckerberg. But later on in the files, we are given a glimpse at what I believe is the list of those who attended this dinner. It included Desiree Dudley, Ed Boyden, Elon Musk, Jeffrey Epstein, Joy Ito, Mark Zuckerberg, Michelle Yee, Naved Farouk, Peter Thiel, Priscilla Chan, and Reid Hoffman. So this is almost like the Avengers of super evil, super villain tech bros. You've got Peter Thiel.
Now, you got the founder of Facebook. Then you got this man control the satellites and can fly to the moon when he get ready. And Jeffrey Epstein can just jump on military planes and be like, yeah, let me ride y'all helicopter right quick and I'll be back. He can go to the moon when he get ready. Then you got this man talking about cloning his own race. If you go to Mark Zuckerberg, right? This one scared me.
That's okay.
Can you explain what this instant personalization thing was that you did and why you did it and what's the value of it to your users?
Maybe I should take off the hoodie.
Take off the hoodie.
Go ahead.
You want
What
to?
the hell?
You want? Go ahead. Here.
It made me think, is this how you can really expose them? Hey, can you take your jacket off? And we want to just see if you got that shit on your jacket.
You all right?
Yeah.
This is a great moment in internet history.
What?
You all right?
What are we gonna do with the mic?
Put it on your...
They set
Put it on the collar of your t-shirt. Do you want?
You need some help?
No, I'm good.
All right. Okay. Mark?
Sorry about the.
Sorry about being wrong, Mark.
No, it's.
We're not even yelling at you.
Yeah.
Yet.
We're not going to yell at it.
No, of course not. That is a warm hoodie.
Yeah. No, it's a thick hoodie. It's a company hoodie. We print our mission on the inside.
What?
Oh,
my
really?
God, the inside of the hoodie.
What? They print their mission. Listen to what he said.
It's a company hoodie. We print our mission on the inside.
What?
Oh,
my
really?
God, the inside of the hoodie, everybody. Take a moment. What is it? Making the
world more open and connected.
Oh my God, it's like a secret cult.
Man, look at that shit, bruh. And then look, that Facebook so dangerous. Man, this to be the biggest thing to spy on everybody. Got you looking all in your phone 24/7 right in front of the camera, bruh. That's crazy.
Making the world open and connected, stream graph platform, and this weird symbol in the middle that is probably for the Illuminati. Oh, 2010.
No, it's 2010.
Okay. Oh, no.
Ooh. Listen to what he said.
Whoever invented this tool deserves a raise. I spent tens of thousands learning from a master electrician and
Dumb and Dumber 2 opens tomorrow. Please say hello to Jim Carrey.
And when they do shit like that, look at the astronauts. They always gonna wear, like, you know, I'm just thinking space and all of this shit. Look, he's gonna tell you what their mission is. Do a joke.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
And he in the Epstein files.
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower.
And check this out, and that's the truth. Look, he finna tell you the truth, but he gonna come through a joke.
I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies.
Yeah.
It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it.
Yeah.
And it is the all-mocking tongue.
I like it. It needs a scraping.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on, you know?
Told you. Told you. Look.
And they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and look at him trying to come it out. It's hilarious.
You see how you look.
And in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and look at him trying to come it out.
You know,
it's hilarious. And, you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second. You know what they're trying to do? Who? This thing is buzzing. Hold on. They're trying to turn us into, you know, consumer drones of some sort. Hold on, I just got to get this.
And yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some...
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus.
Ooh-wee. Did y'all caught the joke?
That's 5.5.
That's a big one, huh?
5.5 heads-up HD display. I think what I was really trying to say was I think people will enjoy Dumb and Dumber this weekend.
And that is what I thought you were about to say.
Ooh.
The guy who claims that the Antichrist is coming, and he loves to talk all the time about the Antichrist. You've got Reid Hoffman, who literally prays for society's downfall. File found in the Epstein files tells you so much. So as you can see, this is a photo that Jeffrey Epstein sent to himself. Now, we don't know exactly the context of this photo, but there are some interesting characters present. Obviously, we can see right here, there's Elon Musk. And as you can see up top, this email was sent in 2015. You can also see right here, there is Mark Zuckerberg. But later on in the files, we are given a glimpse at what I believe is the list of those who attended this dinner. It included Desiree Dudley, Ed Boyden, Elon Musk, Jeffrey Epstein, Joy Ito, Mark Zuckerberg, Michelle Yee, Naved Farouk, Peter Thiel, Priscilla Chan, and Reid Hoffman. So this is almost like the Avengers of super evil, super villain tech bros. You've got Peter Thiel, the guy who claims that the Antichrist is coming, and he loves to talk all the time about the Antichrist. You've got Reid Hoffman, who literally prays for society's downfall almost every day.
Slave owners ate Nat Turner.
What?
They ate him. Some of the things you're hearing about them doing, that's not new. That's retro. George Washington used to have the slave's teeth in his mouth. Everything that you hear about them doing in the Epstein files, the youth of the people, how they own them, how they traffic them. If you look at American money, most of it has people that acted these kinds of ways. And I don't think the American people are shocked because it's so prevalent or has been so prevalent in our history. The saddest thing about that is that those are the kind of men. They tell us how black people are deviant and how black people are bestial and how black people have low moral character. And
so they ate Nat Turner?
And they're doing shit like that. That's the thing that's funny to me. They get to write our story while they're doing that.
If you're tired of hiding your belly in photos, on February 23rd, we start Tai Chi for beginners over 50.
You come from a family that I've seen described online. I don't know if you describe it this way, but you come from a family that people have described it as Illuminati family. Is that how you would describe it?
That's not how I would describe it in the same way. I'll be honest. It's I think it's just a popular catchphrase that a lot of people are borrowing into. Now, I come from a family that they believe they are descendants of the old gods. That's the best way to say it. That they believe that.
Check this out. What he just said, they're descendants of who?
They believe they are descendants of the old gods. That's
the fallen angels. Fallen angels, bruh. They bred with humans.
the best way to say it. That they believe that they are carriers of a seed line that gives them the divine right to rule. And that is what gives them justification spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, scientifically to dominate the lesser species known as humans. Humans literally means a lesser species of man. And they do not believe they are a human in the same way.
They even wrote it in the Constitution and said man is 3/4 of a human. They even got that in the Constitutional. So as me, as a black person, I'm like, damn, what they trying to say? They calling us monkeys and all of this? No, it's way bigger than that.
They believe they are something other than, and that's descendants of this hierarchical ruling species that is from the celestial realm that descended in the days of Jared and came down and procreated with the daughters of men, and that they still trace their seed line back to Gilgamesh, till Nimrod. And so this is what realm that descended in the days of Jared and came down and procreated with the daughters of men, and that they still trace their seed line back to Gilgamesh, till Nimrod. Daughters of they literally by gods. That's the best way to say it. That they believe that they are carriers of a seed line that gives them the divine right to rule. And that is what gives them justification spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, scientifically to dominate the lesser species known as humans. Humans literally means a lesser.
The war in Iraq. Everybody meet Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was an ancient Sumerian king who ruled in what we now know is modern-day Iraq. And he was a 17 to 20 foot giant. He was a demigod, which means he was half human and half god. Now, Gilgamesh was a barbaric king. He built up and ruled over the city of Uruk, which is, again, modern-day Iraq. So what does he have to do with the war in Iraq? This brings us to 2003, when German archaeologist Jörg Fassbinder was digging in modern-day Iraq, and he thought he found the city of Uruk.
Gilgamesh was simply a figment of myth. That was until Jörg Fassbinder and his team of archaeologists, using modern technology to look deep into the ground, discovered an entire ancient city beneath the desert, astonishingly laid out just as the city of Uruk, over which Gilgamesh had purportedly reigned, was described in the epic. More importantly, on the outskirts of the ancient city was what appeared to be a burial site, which archaeologists believe to be the tomb of the ancient king.
So York goes to the authorities, tells them he thinks that he found the city of Uruk and possibly the tomb of Gilgamesh, and 5 months later, we invade Iraq. Now here's where it gets crazy, because not only did we invade Iraq immediately after his findings, our military builds a base directly over the ruins. Anyway, it's not a secret that the USA established a base in the old Babylonian city, destroyed some historical artifacts, and also took with them many of the artifacts. They constructed buildings and helicopter landing pads in the ancient city. It's not a secret that they were searching for something very important.
This is where it gets crazy. Yeah. All the archaeological sites were then stopped in Iraq, so stop digging, you're out of here. And the U.S. military set up an encampment around the tomb site. But the locals around this encampment reported that the U.S. military were digging at night, taking things out of the ground and putting them onto trucks and driving them off.
There were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction. All right.
And you know,
that's why George Bush was talking about we need to go find weapons of mass destruction. And if you look at King Nimrod, back when, just say like if those people died like kings and gods and all this old shit, whatever you want to call them, they buried all their possession with these people, bro. This just ain't like if you were living back in ancient times, right? If I'm a king and if I die, you finna bury my car, my clothes, all my goddamn, my jewelry, everything I own coming in the grave with me. That's why they be trying to dig those graves up, cause look what you will find in those graves and those tombs. Then they said, how tall would this man was? And then look, if you go back to Adam and Eve's story, Lucifer came down here with fallen angels, breads, with Hermes, and that's where you finna get King Nimrod building a tower, because he wanted to be just like God. He had the whole world speaking one language. It's a repeat now, because now the world is almost there that everybody in the world finna start speaking English, bro. Look.
Species of man. And I come from a family that they believe they are descendants of the old gods. That's the best way to say it. That they believe that they are carriers of a seed line that gives them the divine right to rule. And that is what gives them justification spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, scientifically to dominate the lesser species known as humans. Humans literally means a lesser species of man. And they do not believe they are a human in the same way. They believe they are something other than. And that's descendants of this hierarchical ruling species that is from the celestial realm that descended in the days of Jared and came down and procreated with the daughters of men. And that they still trace their seed line back to Gilgamesh till Nimrod.
Guess who traced their seed back to Gilgamesh? Look.
Something's wrong. It's a whole world of deceit. We're going into Iraq to get artifacts? Not to get anything but artifacts. That was the most important thing, they said.
But which artifacts?
I don't know. They just said artifacts. There were things in Iraq that were sold that we had to go get. Bush wanted those artifacts. It was very important.
Did we get them? And if so, where did they go?
We got them. They said they got everything they needed.
Gang, y'all know I'm big on Google Maps, right? I was reading about Moses. Because I was trying to see what route Moses would have taken to get to part to the Red Sea. I swear to God, bro, this on Google Map. I clicked on the spot. It was, you know, like you could click on the spot if they got a street view on it. Bro, I literally clicked and it was a town, bro. It was a city. It looked so old. I'm like, damn. It's an abandoned city. The streets was made out of bricks. Man, bro, I'm gonna try my best to find it on Google Map, bro. I've been trying to find it cause once you look at it, you'll be like, damn, you could tell nobody ain't been here for at least thousands of years. I seen that shit with my own eyes, bro. And then I used to go on Google Map, I used to see little holes in the ground. I'm like, damn, what's that hole there? You know, I'm like, damn, it's a little hole right there. And then come to find out that some of those holes I be looking, them might be underground cities. Just imagine you looking for a city and it's right up beneath you. And you right here be like, well, shit, I don't see nothing but mountains and caves. Look.
From that country.
Where is it?
I don't know. We have it.
Saddam Hussein was building a massive reconstruction of Babylon near the ancient city. Was he trying to hide something huge? Is that why the U.S. decided to invade Iraq so fast and acquire the ancient relic? If you go on the Department of State's website and type in Gilgamesh, you are actually brought to the formal request for the ancient tomb of Gilgamesh. They were requesting his body from the burial site. So when we invaded Iraq, we went in and just took it all, and we actually had to return it. There's even an email from WikiLeaks that says requesting documents pertaining to the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body, and the location of the buried Nephilim. Our entire world is biblical. So what does our government do? It comes in and it covers it up.
Nimrod. And so this is what the dynastic families believe they have, is a superiority in their genetics on one side and the ability to commune with the divine. And so their children are progenitors of these, some might call them abreactions, mutations, these skills, psychic abilities, that kind of stuff, all variants of it. And so they raise up their children in this path with which involves a tremendous amount of shattering of the soul and the identity so that there's compartmentalization within, and it allows them the ability to train their child up in a way that makes them conducive towards the family. I call them the family. That's what I called them. You know, it's a better word for mafia than anything else. But no, we didn't call ourselves, like my family wouldn't ever call themselves Illuminists.
Yeah.
Right? They're Luciferian. That's for certain. They worship Hillel Ben Shahar, as he's really known, but different reasons than what people are ascribed to, you know.
Interesting. All right. So I want you to start from the beginning of what your childhood was like and just walk us through this. But before you do, you just said something that I got to ask you before I forget. What they believe, do you believe is true in the sense of them being able to trace back their lineage to the fallen?
I can't believe the sleep apnea pillow exists, so I almost made the dumbest mistake of my life. I got this contour pillow.
Now, we're going to get more into this. We're going to unpack it. But one of the things I wanted to do, like I said, is with the Epstein files, this is the blessing in it, is that more people are waking up to the truth. More people are trying to figure out, how can anyone do this to children? How could they sacrifice them to Baal and Moloch? How could they do this to babies? How can they laugh and describe what a baby's intestines taste like? How could they laugh at a little girl who was, saying that God was, that she prayed to God every night, and they're laughing about this in an email, and that she believes in Jesus, and then wanting to dress up as Jesus next time she's violated. And then it goes on to say that she prayed and she believes that Jesus is protecting her life. And then Jeffrey Epstein says whoops, which I think we all know what whoops means, that she was killed. And you wonder, how can people be so evil? But then you got to tie it into all this gene editing and all the DNA stuff that was been doing, the scientific experiments, him having at Harvard, having his own office at Harvard, when he's not even part of Harvard, working with MIT with gene editing. There's a lot to unpack with it, but you've got to understand where this goes back to. I've talked about it over and over, that what the Bible says, that there were Nephilim, meaning these are beings that are created from fallen angels who lusted after women and essentially took them, we'll say, and their babies ended up being these hybrids. They are demonic and human hybrids. Now we're going to continue to unpack this as I'm going to do a number of videos about it. But this is Nathan Reynolds, and he is part of that. And actually, there is something in Jeffrey Epstein's emails that was sent to him, or he sent to someone, and it lists all the different families and the bloodlines. A lot of people think about the Roth.
So that's basically what I was doing research. Just think about. I'm trying to figure out what happened to Kanika. And it brought me all the way back to the Bible. And I had to start all the way back to the book of Genesis. And then once I found out, when I started to understand the fallen story, if you take the Enoch Bible, all the old textbooks that's not in the Bible, the ones they took out, and listen to the story about fallen angels. They bred with humans. They had to land in Africa, bruh. If Lucifer fell to the earth, he landed in Africa. That's why you got Tarzan. And I couldn't even understand this shit at first. But now I totally believe in fallen angels. And they amongst us.
Rothschilds. They think about the Rockefellers, but there's more than that. The Orsini family, and guess what another family is?
The Bible really exposed Jeffrey Epstein, the presidents, all the world leaders. This is what I got out the whole Bible. Since Jeffrey Epstein got caught, you opened up a whole new can of worms. You know what the war about now? They had us thinking, oh, it's about oil. Let me go help this country out because they over there, they need our help. And we like, yeah, we rooting this shit on.
The Reynolds family. So continue to listen to this, and I'm gonna bring this full circle so you can understand that we are not dealing with flesh and blood. We are dealing with completely demonic beings. Those who are trying to, that are either Nephilim, that is their bloodline, or they're actually.
So basically, check this out. This make you question, like, who are the real 12 tribes of Israel, bro? Man, you're going to have so many people say, man, it was black people. You're going to have white people like, yeah, it was us Jews. We the real Jews. So it makes you question. The Bible be like, wait a minute. If the 12 tribes is the fallen angels, because that's what it's starting to look like.
Fallen angels, or there are people that have sacrificed themselves to them, so in order for them to get favor, in order for them to rise, for them to get power, for them to get wealth. And this ties directly back to the word of God. And you can see now what people thought was conspiracy theories, or, thinking too deep in weird Bible stuff. No, it's not. The Bible says that the Nephilim, okay, not only were they in the days of Noah, but after. A lot of people think that the reason why, it says that that man was corrupted. All right. It says that they were corrupted during the time of Noah, that every single person was corrupted. But people always think of that as sin. No, the Bible is actually talking about their actual DNA, that Noah and his family were the only ones left who were actually fully human. And that is why God decided to completely wipe the earth, not only of humans, but of animals. He saved some, but of animals because they were mating with animals. They were mating with animals. And you see those depictions all over ancient temple walls, hieroglyphics. You'll see.
I seen that myself. It's a sniper dude. What's that man name? Nick Irvin. Hold on. Sniper Nick Irvin. I think that's his name. Him. The man said, it's in the shorts. The man said he was surveying the field and he watched a man have sex with a donkey. And he said, you see this a lot in Africa. He said they actually have sex with animals over there. Hold on. Nick Irvin, what did he say? Sex. What he said? Not this one. I think this is it.
It was good to be a part of a group like that. I just wasn't sure if I could hang because they were animals, physically fit. And I had no idea if I was going to be able to even keep up with these guys. So I thought my time was going to be short-lived because like these guys could be hammered one night.
No, not this. This ain't it. Yeah, right here. He's seeing Muslim men in Afghanistan sleep with animals.
To completely wipe the earth. People that man was corrupted. All right. It says that they were corrupted during the time of Noah, that every single person was corrupted. But people always think of that as sin. No, the Bible is actually talking about their actual DNA, that Noah and his family were the only ones left who were actually fully human. And that is why God decided to completely wipe the earth, not only of humans, but of animals. He saved some, but of animals because they were mating with animals. They were mating with animals. And you see those depictions all over ancient temple walls, hieroglyphics. You'll see these in different carvings. These are the things that we're dealing with.
Has anyone actually made it to level 4 before? If you're slightly congested, use level 1.
Conversation that, hey, I want you to come with me to not only cause devastation and wreak havoc in the lives of innocent people, but one of us, both of us, there's a high likelihood that we're not leaving this place alive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how do you even have that conversation with somebody you so-called love? That's the furthest thing from good parenting. It's the furthest thing from love. I don't even understand.
I don't know what makes them like that. I don't know if it's like a cultural thing, a religious, but that is like a part of their culture, that religion that they practice. I don't know, but it's not, they go above and beyond the practice of religion, and it becomes like a inverted, perverted practice of it, where they twist certain words and phrases out of a book that, I don't know why somebody would be like that, but they're not this is gonna sound bad, but when I was in the Army, I never saw them as like I don't believe this now, but I never saw them as intelligent people when I was over there, just because of the way of thinking. Because somebody went outside and took his shit and wiped his ass with his hand and flicked it off, and then went to go like have sex with a four-legged animal. I never really saw him as, yeah, that was back then. Not everybody's like that, but yeah.
How common would you say that way of thinking is with our troops that are over there?
Oh, wow. I think it's a lot. I think that when I was over there, and I'm pretty sure nothing has changed, but if they wanted to go kill Americans, that's what they're gonna go do. And they would bring your son along to come fight. It's like, come to work with your dad day, you know? And you could kill a father and his son in the same night. It happens all the time. It happens a lot.
Okay, so specific to you in the way that you thought about the enemy at that time, would you say most of our troops are going over there and thinking that these are unintelligent people?
Yeah.
They get what they get.
Yeah, oh yeah. You kind of have to think that way in order to do your job. You have to think that way. The minute you think,
why are you not getting powerful erections even after taking an ED medication? It comes down to how arousal really works.
And so those same bloodlines are still here. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, guys. We are in a spiritual battle. And that's where we got to keep our eyes. Yes, we see the news. Yes, these are different things in the Epstein files. But that is not the most important thing if we do not bring it back to the real battle that we're in.
Some of them, yes. I believe they absolutely can.
Do you think that's in your blood?
I believe it was, yeah. I believe it is.
Yeah?
I believe there's no way to
Told you.
physiologically necessarily. My blood's been augmented a lot over the years. I volunteered for a lot of stuff and said yes to everything that they could ever give me that would make me better than what I was. I was on a desperate quest for relief. And so I volunteered for all kinds of stuff, and I volunteered for stuff that was transhuman in its nature.
Really?
And it augmented me quickly, you know? And that was brutal, because then there's this, I lived a lot longer than I expected. Let me just put it that way. I did not think I would ever see 18. Never even comprehended the idea that I would ever know a family that wasn't this other thing, where the powers of control and access were given through the abuse of children.
So basically, he telling the whole world he traced his DNA back to fallen angels.
That's what I knew as normal. And I knew that people were corrupt and monsters and were willing to devour each other to rise to the top. I understood what wolves were when they ran the world. And so it was very hard for me to get to a place where I could believe that I could be redeemed, because I had witnessed enough of things in the families that make it seem like I am irredeemable forever. And it took me, there was one book that made a massive difference in that, which was called The Gospel to Every Creature. And I believe it's written by John Darnell. It is very hard to find. I have a copy, but it's been scrubbed. And it's the good news to Nephilim, vampires, and transhumans, you know? And it helped me to see that maybe I wasn't anathema, that maybe just because I have the seed line in me, that maybe just because I'm a progenitor of the offspring of the fallen, that it doesn't mean that I'm not able to be redeemed, because no matter what, by blood or by belief, I believe that we have a Messiah that overcame and we can overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of our testimony, and not loving our lives when faced with death. And it was that powerful encounter with the Almighty, with the true judge of all the earth, who I can make an appeal to, who can give me a new bloodline, you know, and that's what he offers to everyone. Wow. And so I do believe that's available to those that come from these families.
That's wild.
And so a lot of how it works in the families is you got two main approaches. If you've got unlimited access to wealth, power, like really, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about power, unlimited raw power, where a phone call, the phone book, is far more powerful than the bank account because it's who you know can open doors to power anywhere else in the entire world. So you can leave with nothing, but then you can go build. And if you need the phone book, there's a price to be paid. And the price to be paid is generally one of your children. It seems bizarre to some, but a child is generally a chosen child out of the family is given over as an offering to the family. And they're the ones who's going to go through this left-hand path. They're going to experience the desecration of their soul, their identity, and they're going to become an agent for the family that is owned completely. And there's like a legal trustee that is given over to it. There's a board of directors that sits over it. Like these are real legal confines for how the wealth is distributed out there. In order to build your empire, you've got to be able to go prove yourself. And where I was born, that is a place that's a high place, Mount Humphreys. It's a volcanic peaks that sit there. The top of it is where the Hopi Indian and a lot of people had gathered forever to commune with the fallen. They believed that the sons of the sky would come down every season at the winter solstice, and they would abide from the winter solstice to the summer solstice there. This was a place where they would give their daughters over to them. This is Hopi mythology, like 101. You know, they would make these Kachina dolls, which were an effigy of what I would say is a watcher angel that would come, and the daughter would be given to him, and she would place that over her bed throughout her life, you know, and that's her familiar spirit. That's where I was born into. And the people that still practice that old religion, that's the way I refer to it, they still do this. And they
And then look, I believe they still do this right today because it revealed itself. You might as well look at the world like this here. We know the president, what they all about. They is the one that's doing all the human trafficking with the FBI help. And all these kids come up missing. Nobody can't find them. And nobody ain't trying to find these people. If you would have asked me years ago, what's the main religion? I just know about Muslims, Christians, and Jews. Man, if you would have come to me, get to talking about all these spirits and angels, I'm going to tell you, man, y'all don't want to hear that shit, bro. Y'all on the man, look. I don't believe in none of that, man. You sound crazy. Man, it don't sound too much crazy. It sounds so real that when the Bible speaks that this how you know you're going to be in the end world. Because it's like, if you expose the world leaders, how they just got exposed, they all on the news outlet acting if nothing didn't happen. Everybody in on the Epstein files, and they got their own platform telling the world, hey man, this all these conspiracy. Ain't no conspiracy about it. Look.
They still take their children up there to give them over to them on these high days. And so I was born into that, and I was born through that seed line and into that ritual magic world.
Now, I just explained previously what the Nephilim are, but I want you to listen to this because this is a much better explanation. And then I want to show you how this is still happening now, how it ties into all the things that we are seeing finally coming to light to the masses. Many people have been awake to it, but that is a small percentage. And that's those of us who've been looking at these things, and we're not surprised. We're not surprised at all. Because we've been beating the drum, trying to tell people, and even a few months ago when I just feel like God called them 20-odd something times to stop doing it. Because it never went away. It has always been here, but they learned to operate within the shadows.
Who are the Nephilim?
The Nephilim are the byproduct, the offspring of fallen angels and human women, creating a hybrid being, which is soulless, in my opinion, known as the Nephilim. They shouldn't be here. They were.
If you read the Bible again and listen to all the story, who was the people that was talking to the fallen angels? Guess who these fallen angels kept in communication with? I don't believe they was Africans. Look.
We're never supposed to be here. And the springboard to this, Eric, is Genesis 3:15. My hat is off to my good friend Gary Stearman, who lectured me on this years ago. Genesis 3:15. You've got Adam and Eve in the garden. They've just blown it. They've known they've blown it. They are hiding from the Lord. They are terrified. You've got the dragon. You've got Hasatan, the shining one, the Nakash over here. And then in the center, you've got the pre-incarnate Jesus, the pre-incarnate Messiah, who says to the dragon, and this is imperative.
Now check this out. Now you see how Jesus' name came up, bro. This shit is so different. This shit finna hit different.
In fact, in the book, I spend lots of time unpacking Genesis 3:15. Jesus, the pre-incarnate Christ, says to the dragon, your offspring will be at war with the offspring of the woman. The proto-evangelium, the offspring from the woman, will crush your head, you'll bruise his heel. That's the entire biblical narrative.
And that's why you got wars, because these people just say they know they descendants of the fallen angels. And that's what the whole curse about. Cause that's what it means, like you're gonna go to war with your own people.
It's not taught in seminaries, and most churches have no idea. But that's the whole thing. It sets up everything.
So what you're introducing is the concept of satanic offspring.
Yes, absolutely.
They hide in God-king bloodlines. They hide in generation in bloodlines.
Told you.
Now, there's always been a seed war. Genesis chapter 3 describes a seed.
And it makes you think, why when you talk to royal people in the elites that's running the world, claiming to have royal bloodline?
War, the first of 400 messianic promises of King Jesus, Genesis chapter 3, it's describing it's 3:15. There's always going to be a war between our seed and your seed. And then you go over into the book of Daniel. He says, hey, the head is as gold, the shoulders are as silver. It goes down to brass, and it gets down to iron and clay mixed. And it says this whenever he interprets it in the book of Daniel, and their seed shall mix with yours. Talking about at the end times, that mixing of the seed's going to be a big priority. So if it's transgender, if it's transhuman, it's all about trans, which is transgression.
What did he say there? In the end times, this is where the battle will be. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. You have got to take the word of God seriously, because they do. They do. I've seen different people, like even Elon Musk says he believes the teachings of Jesus. And I see so many Christians excited, like, oh, he believes. Demons believe the teachings of Jesus. They know it's true. They're fighting against it. Elon Musk has also said that by 2030, there'll be no more cell phones, that everything will go to the Neuralink in your brain.
Damn. Man, just imagine. Everybody gonna have to get a chip implanted in their head. I don't want a phone that bad. Matter of fact, you can keep that little phone. I'm not finna sell my soul, bro. Look how much people buying for a phone that's spying on you. Everybody knows your phone spying on you. We ain't really taking it serious, like. The government can spy on you and you don't say nothing about it. But your mate, the person you in a relationship, can go in your phone and spy on your phone. Oh boy, it's finna cause completely hell. So look.
That they're summoning the demons with AI. Which is not artificial intelligence. It's not alien intelligence, it's angel intelligence, which I have a whole video I'm going to do for you that is really going to explode that for you. But I want you to also understand how these things, it's not just with our children. When I told you about how they were actually mating with animals, this is where we get the bestiality from. Guys, that's where we get it from. They were able, because of this Nephilim DNA, in which actually Jeffrey Epstein talks about trying to create this hybrid. I forget which animal he was trying to do this with. It's in the Epstein files. Again, like I said, we're going to comb more.
That's crazy. All of this in the file. These people experiment with animals, bro. Y'all remember Dolly Parton, that country singer lady? Don't you know, bro? They cloned her to a damn sheep. They call it Dolly the sheep. They actually took her DNA and cloned the sheep. I didn't even know they can do this type of shit, bro. Man, just imagine you were walking somewhere and just say you see a cute little chihuahua and you like, oh, that's cute. Hey, little fella. And the dog say, hey, how you doing? Man, you might drop dead of a heart attack. This shit is scare you so bad. Look.
More through those things. But he was trying to do this. Again, you have to understand what they're trying to do with DNA. Why was Hillary Clinton so pressed to find the get the DNA of Gilgamesh, which I'm going to play for you right after this one. But understand, all those depictions of these beings that were half dog with a dog head and a human body, or a human body, a human torso and head, and then a horse body. We were told, even the Sphinx, okay, with this they were supposed to be like a human head, which there's some controversy with that I can go over. Human head, and then that lion body. These were real beings and deities that they worship. They told us this was myth. They told us that this was fairy tale. They told us that this was just, these are things they believe, but pay no attention to it. They didn't really believe these things. Yes, they did. Every civilization depicts it, depicts all of these half animal humans. Anubis, okay? The ancient Egyptian god was a dog, he's depicted with a dog face and a human body. They were an entire race that lived. And just because you don't see them now, I'm going to play something right after this one that's going to help you understand why you don't actually physically see them as giants, why you don't see them depicted as this anymore. Doesn't mean they don't exist underground, because there's a whole world underground, okay, that they've built. This ties back into the flood.
And we're sure this is shocking for many of you that are just hearing the news and tuning.
But watch this.
To Cynocephaly, and the most famous one of them all, St. Christopher, the dog-headed humans. Now they say it was just from a mistranslation in Latin, or a depiction of a foreigner from faraway lands. That is the excuse the mainstream gives us for all of the depictions of St. Christopher as a dog-headed human, or as history accurately refers to them as Cynocephaly. Now there is a reason why, all across this realm, much like giants, these Cynocephaly are depicted in near exact detail. It was not some elaborate
Damn, y'all didn't hear me?
prank from a world that was not supposedly connected. It should be quite clear. They depicted exactly what they saw. Our true history is far stranger than fiction.
Like an animal.
This what I learned about. Don't you know it was people witnessing Jesus crucifixion, and they wrote stories and books about what they saw. Them, that's what they don't want y'all to read, what everybody saw. Just put the Bible in their hands.
Animal. But then I've seen men become not people.
Like literally
not be the
change.
people. Yeah.
Okay.
And there is like lycanthropy, and there's these understandings of what the watchers are capable of doing that most people are just woefully ignorant of. And that's why they're perishing. It's because they lack a basic understanding of history. And one of the predominant understandings of what a watcher, specific class of celestial beings, is capable of is augmenting itself. They can shapeshift. That is by their nature. They're literally called metaskizmadzotoi in the Greek in the New Testament. And it's because he says it's marvel not, because Hasatan, you could say like transforms himself. That's a good word for it. But he shapeshifts himself into an angel of light. And his messengers, his apostles, disciples, they do the same thing. And he's like, this is because they are capable of becoming anything they want to be in order to deceive on one side of the equation. And that's what they'll do. And so when people start engaging in these necromantic rituals and other stuff, and they start to seek the embodiment of these celestial ones, they can get these things on them and in them, and they can't contain them. And some of these guys who are messing with this stuff, who don't come from the bloodline, are incapable of cohabitating like a parasite, and they feed off of each other, and they can't handle it. And so that's why families are recruited from these bloodlines, and children are recruited out, even if they don't know anything about it. Like you said, the vast majority of people who come from these bloodlines, there's a lot of muddying of the waters. There's a lot of purity that's been changed. There's a lot of half-breeds. There's a lot of quarter breeds, right? There's a lot of people that don't know this stuff, and they start to get into lesser magic, and all of a sudden it's like the doors of everybody open to them. But that's why.
That's what I feel like. Kenneka Jenkins opened the doors for me, bro. That's all I'm saying. Look, it took me on a spiritual journey. If I would have never seen or heard anything about Kenneka Jenkins, I would be sitting here, would be doing what I was doing. That girl brought me closer to God than any pastor, anybody that talked to me. That girl brought me close to God, bro. Man, this shit got me in tears, man. She was the only one, bro, that brought me more closer to that man, bro. I just can't believe how the doors open for me, that I can actually see the world clearer.
It's because they can host these things better. Whereas those that don't, they get taken over by this stuff, and they can't change back. They can't return, in a sense. Like, people become completely possessed and are incapable of expelling the darkness after that. And who do you turn to? You're like, you're going to go to the Catholic guy who's all into the same thing that you're into, you know? Like, most people don't understand what a real deliverance is required for somebody that has gone down this far down, where they are the consuming people.
Hey, it's Adam with
I
Vantage.
believe it so, man.
All right.
This world.
So, what you've just seen right there.
Like, that's a deep, devastating, psychological, spiritual shock, physical, your liver, like the health. This is why I'm huge into health, because I've physically had to try to find ways to help people who have done all of these things. Like, the consumption of human blood does horrific things to the human body, you know, and this is a major practice within this. These families do drink blood. That's why.
I want to know what the blood would do. Do it kick like a shot of whiskey? Like you could actually feel it? Like I know I taste my own blood before. I know the taste of blood. You know what I'm saying? But just like to drink it, nah, bro.
Why we have these vampire class of people. It's not some kind of myth. People consume blood in order to live, extend their life force.
And just so you know, he's been talking about this for years, exposing them, eating people, drinking blood, all of these things. And now you're seeing it in real life. The masses are.
So check this out. I won't sound so crazy when I was trying to tell y'all, look, Miss Teresa, all these people related.
Finally seeing it through the Epstein files. And guys, we only got 2% of the Epstein files, 300 gigabytes. Did you know there's nearly 15 terabytes of the Epstein files that they're not going to release? We will never see
a lot
them.
of video.
But just in the 300 that we got, you are starting to see the cracks open, that people's minds are finally open to the truth that's out here.
Told you.
Now, I'm going to play this video. I've played it before by Ashley Hayes. It is amazing. She woke me up to so many things. She's here on YouTube as well as on TikTok. She's everywhere, actually. But Ashley Hayes really breaks down and ties us back to Gilgamesh, Nimrod, and why we went into Iraq and all of that. You've got to understand the details, okay? This is going to help tie this all together, that the masses have been asleep. They have us thinking about everything else, but these are the things that they are focused on because they are preparing for the new world order. Now, before I play that, I just want to show you really quickly, if you didn't see my video earlier, but
we already in the new world order. Let me go to this. Here go a victim.
You know, he kind of saw the potential, like, mother.
She telling them about the baby farm. These people got baby farms, bro. She's just a survivor. She said she never saw this man eat. She only saw him snack. That means the man eat human meat. You go to his interview. He was like, Steve Bonner asked the man, what you eat in jail? Oh, just Almond Joy bars. Just Almond Joy bars? Just Almond Joy bars. Because I don't eat no prison food because I don't want nobody to poison me or something happening. No, you just don't consume meats. You consume human meat. That's on your regular menu. Look.
Like, I did, love children at the time. Since I was, like my early 20s, I always wanted to have children.
Here go the Zorro Ranch cloning.
Baby from them. Was that part of the system? That were also asked to have a baby. And so that would be the first question. And then I want to go through the journal that was in the Epstein files. There was a girl that talked about having a baby with Epstein. She was very vivid in describing it. We'll put the journal on screen when we publish the interview, where she's saying about there's blood everywhere, and she managed to hold the baby for, I think, a few minutes or seconds, and then the baby was taken away from her. That wasn't. It was a pretty heartbreaking journal entry to read.
Damn.
I'm not sure if you've seen that, but does that fit into your understanding of what happened? Is it possible that he had babies with other girls and then taking the baby from them? Was that part of the?
So it makes me think when you go to church, they were like, this is the blood of Jesus, and they have everybody drink a shot of that grapefruit wine, right? But if you think about it, what you think? You don't think back in those ancient days they were actually drinking blood and they were actually sacrificing? Just say I could just imagine if you go to church back in those ancient days, they actually have kids on the altar, slaughter them, everybody take and drink the blood of the child or the people that sacrifice. Because that's all it talks about in the Bible. Look.
System?
Not the way he described it to me. When he wanted to have a baby with me, he wanted a child that we were going to raise together. Like he never talked about having the baby taken away. But I can't really answer that question with certainty because I didn't want to have his baby. There's a reason why I didn't engage in more with him, even though he wanted me to come over the house. And, you know, like I thought he was going to try to get me pregnant. I didn't want to have his baby. I did hear from one other girl who mentioned that Ghislaine and Jeffrey had asked her to carry their baby. But that wasn't going to be her baby with Jeffrey. It was Ghislaine wanted to have a baby with Jeffrey. Like she also wanted to have a baby with him. I did not want to have his baby, but I guess she's the only woman that I met that was part of this system who actually really wanted to have a child with him.
And
you know the crazy part about it, you actually got people that sign up and know what they doing, and they don't give a fuck.
Earlier, I think you hinted at it earlier. You think he's more likely than not to have babies that we don't know about?
I think so because I've heard stories also from one girl who I knew very well. I still talk to her on occasion. She mentioned the baby farm, and she mentioned that he most likely did this in the New Mexico property. But we don't have proof. She only met Jeffrey once, and he extensively went on for about 3 hours talking about, like, he called it his cloning lab. Like, I don't know. Like, he never told me anything about cloning. He was obsessed with genetics, eugenics, and science, and he talked about selective breeding a lot.
What?
And he was into Darwinism, the theory of evolution. He had manipulated me so much so that I just realized recently when I was going through my old sketchbooks that the original concept that I wanted to create for this public art sculpture back in the early 2000s, I had selected the theory of evolution based on Darwin as the subject for a sculpture that I proposed to the board of directors at this university. This has nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. And I didn't realize they were a Catholic school or a Jesuit school, and they do not, accept or believe in the theory of evolution. So they rejected my proposal and told me, you need to go back and come, and return with a different idea. So then I chose spirituality, prayer, and meditation, and they accepted that. But because Jeffrey talked about it for so much so over and over again, and he also gave me books to read about this subject, I didn't realize until recently that that's how much of an influence he had on me.
So to make a long story short, in the file, they said Jeffrey Epstein got slaves. In the file, he is linked up with the biggest world leaders that's in the human trafficking. They is in the lab discussing our future and what they're going to do with us. They got some sick plan for us. And we so distracted with all these videos on the phone and this social media. Bro. And once upon a time, they would even talk about staging a UFO. Like attack, like.
So you've heard him talk a lot about selective breeding.
So let me skip to the next video. Boom.
Definitely not my typical content, but I came across something that really surprised me. I was just going around the island seeing if I could find street views anywhere, and then sometimes you'll get people that will put these little dots. Well, I saw one right here, clicked on it, and it took me into a super weird room, guys. Check this out and let me know what you think. I'll just
You
share
got
it here and let you
Putin.
all visually see what I seen as I'm looking through the room. Some odd things that you can kind of tell what some are, and then others are kind of warped because of, you know, the view that it is. Not to mention, this is from a person potentially on the island that took this at some point. Some really just weird stuff. Animal on the bed, and yeah, I don't want to throw any wild accusations out there. I was really blown away with what I seen here. Like, I didn't expect to be able to go inside of any of the buildings or rooms, and this is definitely one of them. I can't tell what everything is. Maybe you guys can, but yeah, just some really odd things just for the fact of getting into a room at all on this island and whatever this room is. And yeah, the windows are blocked out. Obviously, you can tell it looks like some kind of red light. Yeah, I'm not real sure. A few bowls on the floor, almost maybe like animals, but there's no animals around. And yeah, you can see it's maybe a pool house or a pool room, but it kind of looked like something you would probably stay in as well long term, you know, like overnight or whatever. That was the only one I could find. You can go check it out on Google Earth as well. And yeah,
Man,
look a little
just
bit.
imagine how you gonna escape. If you want the man, check this out. They said the man got slaves living in her.
DJ Vlad has taken it to academics' extreme to claim that everything that he said on that tweet that went viral about Jay-Z was in fact him trolling. But people are questioning whether DJ Vlad was told to actually put out this tweet, because funny enough, just a few hours before Vlad had went out to tweet that viral tweet, the Department of Justice had just went on to drop an additional Epstein list with hundreds of names on them where Jay-Z is named. The DOJ also announced that they were releasing the remaining of the Epstein files, and in one of those files, Jay-Z's name popped up in an email which was sent out from Jess Staley to Jeffrey Epstein back in February 3rd of 2014. If you guys don't know who Jess Staley is, he at one point was the chief defender at JP Morgan, where he allegedly was helping Jeffrey Epstein keep his accounts active, being all the allegations that he had of him doing things that he wasn't supposed to be doing with his accounts. And funny enough, Just Staley was also known for becoming the CEO of the Brooklyn Barclays Center back in 2015. Now, on that email sent from Staley to Epstein said this: "You want to know why we're not Sao Paulo? Watch the TV ads on the Super Bowl. It's all the hip blacks in hip cars with white women. The group that should be in the streets has been paid off by Jay-Z." Damn, man. If you guys don't know what was happening in Brazil at around 2014, it was a whole bunch of people protesting because the Olympics was coming in, spending $11 billion in Sao Paulo while people were struggling with health.
And the cold part about it, when I was doing research, I know what the Olympics game is all about. Bro, the Olympia is ran by the devil, bro. Check this out.
Healthcare and even food. Now, the bigger problem besides this email is that Jay-Z's name has been mentioned among hundreds of other people that are on this Epstein list. And if you guys have looked through these emails, you know that there are millions of redactions on these millions of pages. And the Department of Justice has released the names, but we don't know exactly where they belong. But the point is that no matter where you made it on this list, if your name is on it, it's not good. And I know last week Charlamagne was saying, well, that last time that they mentioned Jay-Z on the list, that was from a random caller. Well, what are you guys going to say now when his name has officially been listed among others like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Donald Trump? Sheesh. Get him out of here!
This pisses me off. They strip table salt down to 2 minerals, call it healthy, and then wonder.
Well, along with us not really believing in that Jeffrey Epstein actually deleted himself, that he's actually dead, we've actually seen, I showed you the facial comparison of Ghislaine Maxwell at her last hearing on the 9th of this month, where It's not the same person. Everyone is now talking about.
Look,
It's
check this
wide
out.
with no point. Her philtrum is longer in that one. It's shorter in this one. The chin, look at the chin, is short and blunt. This one is pointed.
So, make a long story short, them totally two different people. All right.
This is proof that the NFL is fake and all their games are rigged.
There's a laser right here telling them.
This why, check this out. I caught on this in the 90s. They was fixing games, bro. That's why I stopped watching football, basketball, because I'm like, man, I just seen. Look, watch this.
Where to get tackled. Literally right here. Laser. It's going to flash. Look, it's flashing. It's flashing.
Because when this guy was watching the Super Bowl, he noticed strange flashing lasers on the field. And according to him, that signals to the players for someone to get tackled in that exact spot. But just watch how moments later, his theory proves the NFL has been lying to you your entire life.
It's flashing. It's
Told
flashing.
you.
Right there. This is where he's going to get tackled. Right on this laser. Boom. Oh, ball goes down. What the fuck is that, NFL?
I am
Told
a licensed
you.
pharmacist in 4 states, and beyond these doors, I'm going to dispel a scam that blurs the line between animal and human medication.
Bro, he just been exposed the biggest scam in the world. Look.
This is something that shocked me as a pharmacist, and I came here to get an animal medicine, and I'll show you why. Right here, this is diphenhydramine. It's a 25 milligram tablet. You get 100 of them for $10. Now let's compare this to the human version. For the second part, we have to go to a human pharmacy and get some. Right here is what we want. So this is diphenhydramine 25 milligram tablets. You get 365 tablets here, and it's $7.27. The reason why I became skeptical of these products is right here, the inactive ingredients. You can see the pupper version on the bottom that's made for dogs, and the human version on top that's made for humans. Again, same active ingredient. Now, do you notice anything about the inactive ingredients? Yeah, they're identical. Yep. Nice and bright and pink. And this is the human version. Yep. Take a look at the human version.
Same
They're
shit.
the exact same pill. These came out of the same factory.
Today's message is Canaanites. Everybody say Canaanites.
Look, this shit so crazy. Epstein and the Canaanites. The synagogue of Satan. Y'all remember you could ask some people right now, who are the Canaanites? A lot of people gonna say African people. Cause Canaanites was originated in Africa. That don't mean they were Africans. Look.
Who are the Canaanites? Well, if you've read through the Bible, you'll know this, okay? There was the flood of Noah, right? In the book of Genesis. And then Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And among his 3 sons, one of his sons actually committed an abomination with Noah. And as a result, he was cursed. And that son was Ham. And Ham's firstborn was Canaan. And so Noah pronounced a curse from heaven upon Canaan, and that started the whole rivalry and conflict between Israel and the people of Canaan in the future.
Oh, and it's still going on since the book of Genesis into our lifetime. So they just show you who the real people that's cursed. Bro. So that's what in the Bible, when it talked about, the serpent gonna scratch you gonna scratch the serpent head and he'll scratch your heel of the foot. That just sound like your seed gonna go against thy seed. That means they talking about people. Basically saying 2 brothers would never get along. You gonna be fighting for the rest of your life.
Also known as the Canaanites. Now, very interestingly, this group of people, I want you to hear me right at the beginning.
Do this sound
If your theology
African?
doesn't work with this, you're not understanding the Bible. Jesus called this group of people dogs.
Whoa! Whoa! Why he call them dogs? Trey Gang just show y'all who they were depicting and no angels with dog heads on human bodies, all of this. Look.
In the gospel.
So Jesus ain't finna call us dog. They weren't preferring to us. Oh, bro, we can't even be the Canaanites. This show you Jesus called these people out. Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of dogs. Shit, y'all even depict yourself on the wall. It's dogs and humans.
Are you listening?
Right.
In the New Testament, in the Gospels, Jesus called this group of people dogs.
Dogs.
I want to be very clear right at the beginning that all people can be saved. All people can be saved. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Anybody can put their faith in God. But I'm going to tell you something about the nationality of the Canaanites that you need to understand, and that is that very few of them respond to Jesus. Very few of them respond to Jesus. Why? Because since the curse that came upon Ham and therefore the descendants of Canaan, the Canaanites, they have been at war with God. They had a major part to play in the crucifixion of Jesus Christ.
And the people that's in the office, the people that are world leaders, they all know who killed and murdered him and the reason why.
And if you'll understand it, they are actually the synagogue of Satan spoken of in Revelation. And I'm going to, during this sermon, help you to understand exactly who the synagogue of Satan is, exactly who the Canaanites are, exactly what the Bible says. Now, in light of the release of the Epstein files, which I believe is a miracle, and here's why, even in their redacted form, those who have been fighting for these files to be released have fought relentlessly for years, okay? These allegations, Epstein was a convicted pedophile years ago. These allegations and these convictions started years ago, and they weren't going to get released. And because of the pressure of we the people, the files were released, and as a result, more people are waking up to the fact that Pizzagate was absolutely not a conspiracy theory. I knew it wasn't. People had a hard time receiving that, though, because they were still pretty plugged into the news. So Pizzagate, not a conspiracy theory. There absolutely are wicked, evil people down here trafficking children and blackmailing politicians and controlling countries as a result of it. And what I'm presenting to you today is that those people, listen, Jesus said the synagogue of Satan claims to be Jews and are not. I don't know if you saw in the emails from Epstein, but one of them said, Jews and Goyim are at war, Jews presently winning. Very interesting. Well, I want to discuss the connection between the modern day Jew and the Canaanites of Scripture. If that's something that interests you, say amen. Amen. I'm excited to dive into it. We're going to open with Matthew chapter 15, verses 21 through 28. Let's go there together. Matthew chapter 15, verses 21 through 28. Look at this. Look at how Jesus talks in this story. Now, I'm starting with this passage in this sermon because Jesus interacts with this individual differently than he interacts with the Pharisees, differently than he interacts with the Romans. He interacts with this woman very differently and says that her people are dogs. Jesus doesn't normally talk that way, so we should pay attention. Let's read it. Matthew 15, verse 21. Jesus went away from there and withdrew into the district of Tyre and Sidon, and a Canaanite woman. Everybody say Canaanite. Canaanite. Now, interestingly, this is the only time the Canaanites are brought up in the New Testament, but they're a major people group throughout the entire Old Testament, okay? They're a major adversary, an enemy of the people of Israel throughout the entire Old Testament. Let's continue on, verse 22. And a Canaanite woman from that region came out and began to cry out, saying, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David, my daughter is cruelly demon-possessed." But he did not answer her a word.
So check this out. This really messed me up because I was up under the impression that the 12 tribes is lost and we one of them. All because they came from Africa, but they was not Africans. So the Bible is basically exposing the world who are the real Jews are. And who are the real 12 tribes of Israel. And you can verify it by all the wars that's going on since beginning of time. I don't see no Africans claiming Israel is their land. Matter of fact, it's like the Africans ain't just, I don't know if this might be true, but the Africans, they know about all this stuff, but you don't just see Africans just going there, just, ooh, my God, this is amazing. It's like they already know what's really going on. What if you go some part of Africa and you tell these folks, yeah, what you will? I'm a Hebrew Israelite. What? You sure don't look Hebrew. You sure don't look like no Israel. You'll be like, what you mean? You're going to feel defended. And then one of them folks actually tell you like, man, they done taught you religion's all wrong. Hold on. You think God will come and tell the Canaanites, which is us, we are dogs, and they worship Satan and pagan gods?
He did not answer her a word. Jesus' first reaction to the Canaanite woman is to ignore her. I want you to understand something. This is not how Jesus normally behaves in the gospel narrative, and he ignores this woman and her demon-possessed child. Why? Well, I want to explain something to you. A lot of people don't understand this doctrine. I don't have a ton of time to dive into it, but I have, made a lot of sermons on the topic, okay? Sin and sickness being related to one another. But one thing that is abundantly clear in Scripture is that the more grievous the sin, the more likely sickness is to manifest in a body. In John chapter 5, Jesus healed a man, and after he healed him, he said, stop sinning so that nothing worse happens to you. Okay? In 1 Corinthians 11, the Christians are getting sick and they're weak, they're sick, and they're dying because they're taking the communion of Jesus Christ and they're getting drunk on the wine. And they're weak, sick, and dying as a result. Okay? So sin can absolutely manifest as sickness in a person's body. And the more grievous the sin, the more grievous the issue. So when somebody walks up with a demon-possessed child, the possibility and the likelihood of
and it makes me think about the movie Exorcism. I used to think that's just only in movies. I ain't never thought this stuff was in real life. I never personally saw that, but it could be very much possible. Bro.
Major sin having been committed is there. In fact, this is why the disciples asked Jesus when there was a man born blind. They asked Jesus, and they weren't theologically off their rockers. They weren't, totally out of left field. They said, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? They weren't just making that up. That wasn't an inaccurate statement. Jesus just said, in that case, it wasn't the parents or the man, but it was done so that God would be glorified because Jesus was going to heal the man. So it was set up in advance that Jesus would heal that blind man. But they asked correctly. Their theology was actually correct when they asked Jesus, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And so in this case, some kind of major sin has occurred. So even when this woman comes to Jesus and calls him the Lord, the Son of David, it says he ignored her. He did.
The Son of David, called him the Lord, the Son of David. Now check this out. This is where I believe I caught the Bible up in this one. Because I was getting up under the impression that Jesus supposed to come through the bloodline through David, King David. And that's how I was taught the Bible. Jesus gonna come through their bloodline, and that's how he gonna fulfill the prophecy. But if you look at Jesus' DNA, he don't have none of their DNA. Right? His mother don't have their DNA. They come from a whole nother. This is what I found out about the blood of Jesus. Cause when you think about the blood of Jesus, you think about the shedding and the forgiveness of the sin. But it was this dude broke it down and said Jesus, they took a DNA of Jesus' blood, bro. And they said they took it to the lab and the blood was still alive. And they said, damn, who blood is this? And he said, that's the blood of the Messiah. So it is life in the blood.
Not say a word. That's his first reaction. Do you know he reacts 3 times? Let's continue on. Verse 23, but he did not answer her a word. And his disciples came and implored him, saying, send her away because she keeps shouting at us. But he answered and said, and he's speaking to the woman now, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
What?
Okay. He did not respond this way to the Roman.
So Jesus only came to this world to expose the 12 tribes of Israel, because them the ones that were worshiping pagan gods, bulls, cows. They even worshiping animals. And Jesus came down here to fulfill all their prophecy. That's the prophecy being fulfilled. The man actually came.
Roman centurion, when the Roman centurion came to him and said that he believed he was the Lord and asked him to heal his servant, he said, say the word, my servant will be made well. So the occupying Gentile army in Israel, Jesus treated better than the Canaanite woman who came to speak to him.
So now look, y'all can go watch this man video and it's gonna line up perfectly with the Epstein case. That's why you got preachers. A lot of preachers hitting on the subject and making so bad, they even putting it in their church sermons. What this about to do, if everybody wake up to religion right now, you know what the first thing people gonna do? I don't think everybody will wake up on a Sunday and go back to church again. People will be in their houses praying to God. People will go outside and be like, I love you, brothers and sisters. Jesus finna take care of all of this. We on the safe side. God got a place for us. So don't worry. You will see it in due times. Now let's skip to this one.
I can turn your wildest ideas into a song. Just describe it in a few words.
See
Choose
that?
a style and let Mareka the Fifth 8 handle the rest.
Then look
With
at
one
all
click,
of this
Mareka
stuff.
V8 transforms your thoughts.
Now I
into
see
a
why they
studio
do
quality track.
stuff like
Fast,
this.
effortless.
Stephen Colbert made up a bunch of fan fiction. They did. Made up a bunch of fan fiction. This is the interview Donald Trump didn't want you to see. His FCC refused to air my interview with Stephen Colbert. Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas. So let's watch this. We'll see what happened.
James Tallarico.
I don't really know this guy that well.
There you go. Thank you. Now, here's the thing. I don't usually say this to a guest, but if people are watching this right now, it's because they found us online on YouTube. I did an act of the show that's on tonight explaining why. It's not the first time you've caused some drama. FCC opening probe into The View after appearance by Tallarico. Do you mean to cause trouble?
I think that Donald Trump is worried that we're about to flip Texas.
So that's it. So this guy, they basically went out and said, let me see if I can pull this up. Where's the video if I can find it? Stephen Colbert, where the fuck did it go?
He made a skit
Pulled from TV
about
over FCC equal time. And
look, he had made a skit about y'all see the Stephen Colbert when he was like, he had a baby in his hand and he was giving the baby to the devil, and everybody in the audience with children, and he was screaming, "Eat the baby!" Hold on. What's his name? Steve what? Colbert. Steve Colbert, child sacrifice. Right here.
Me! I must appease him with the gift of a man-child. Come to me. I must feed you. I must feed you to the Northwest. Don't take him. Don't take the baby. Take the baby. Don't eat me.
And they were making skits and showing you this stuff on TV, bruh. Look.
Watch this.
Someone like Jeffrey Dahmer, you know who that is?
Yeah, he that man in heaven. If he truly repented and gave his life to Christ, he's in heaven.
Really?
Yes.
After he murdered, cut people's heads open and drugged them and raped them.
Yes.
He goes to really?
Yes.
That's my like.
And I want to know, because y'all know that man changed his life. Boot King, whatever his name is, he changed his life. He was doing a whole bunch of stuff. But check this out. This the reason why we even got Chuck E. Cheese. Ain't this crazy? How many of y'all ever had a birthday at Chuck E. Cheese or went to Chuck E. Cheese? Now, you know Chuck E. Cheese is famous for the rat and pizza. A rat with pizza? Look at this shit. In the Epstein file.
You guys know the Chuck E. Cheese theory?
Wait, break it down.
Can anybody tell me why Chuck E. Cheese, if you look at the slices...
Chuck E. Cheese. That's why it's called Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. eat cheese. And if you know what the code word of cheese is,
Why are the slices different shapes? Small, big.
I always thought that was weird.
Okay, you know why? They said when the kids eat the pizza.
Okay.
Kids never really finish their pizza at Chuck E. Cheese. They're running around and eating, then they all go home, right? So there's leftover slices. So you know what to do with the leftover slices? They take the slices, put them back in the oven, melt the cheese over again, and bring it back out.
Okay.
That's why they're different.
Oh my God. So that's just like.
and that pizza do look different from any other pizza.
That's like mush of everyone else's leftover pizza.
Right.
So that's why the last time I went to Chuck E. Cheese, I got fucking sick.
Because you probably was eating somebody else's pizza.
Right.
That sounds crazy.
They're all different shapes. Like
Damn.
Some are small, some are big. They just take the old slices.
Oh no.
Run them back, put the cheese over it, and then melt it, and then bring it out. Because think about it. You're dealing with a bunch of kids, right? They're going to take one bite and then go play.
They never eat the full pizza.
They never eat the full pizza. And that costs them millions of dollars if they're throwing out fresh pizza all the time. So wouldn't that save them or make them a lot of money to do so?
Actually, it would. It saves them.
And then guess who's working in the back anyways? A bunch of teenagers who don't give a shit.
Well, I mean,
Show is, bruh. I remember we took a school field trip to go into Chuck E. Cheese. Cause they were showing us how they make the pizzas. They took us a tour in the kitchen, all around that job. Y'all, we living in the world, bruh, that we surrounded by demons, and we interacting with the demons unknowingly what we aware of. We is not aware of what we doing, bruh.
owner, CEO was on the Epstein files, so at this point, you can't put anything past. He's on the Epstein files.
Right.
But being that he stepped down, if you were just mentioned, you were like, oh, I just took a jet one time. I went to a party. You step down. Unless it's really some shit. You don't want discovery. You don't want to take the whole company down.
Yeah, because if you're current CEO, this is why everybody, right before COVID, everybody stepped down from the CEO positions because they didn't want that heat of, stocks crashing.
So look. So you got Jeffrey Epstein. To my knowledge, this man is connected to every world leader in the world. This just showed me all the world leaders cool with each other. They go on islands and do demonic things and worship the devil. And will cut the camera on with business suits and ties. Talk with propaganda. Lie and look good doing it on TV. They're just like me, a mass killer. I'm around here killing at night and then go live in the morning and talk about the weather report. Like, yeah, today's going to be a sunny, cloudy day. You don't need an umbrella. Going to be slightly little showers of rain. You know what I'm talking about. Look at this shit, man.
And all this stuff. They're like, oh, I ain't dealing with this.
They keep saying that. They keep saying that the stocks are going to crash. This last file drop, they saying everything's going to crash. Even the Trump administration, they keep saying it. It's like, what's on there? And then Alex Jones came out and said something too. Alex Jones is like, yo, I talked to somebody from the FBI and he's like, you don't want to know what's on this last drop. Like, it's honestly, it's going to fuck everybody up.
Told you.
Jeffrey Epstein. So this is one of the pictures that got leaked. It was a bedside table with a bunch of watches around it, right?
Yeah.
Theory, these watches are just tracking devices with a wire in it so Jeffrey can hear and track where these victims are going, what are they saying about him, all that. Oh! Also in this drawer, there was an audio recorder. So why would there be a bunch of junk watches and an audio recorder in a drawer? And why did they take pictures of it? And I'm no watch guy, but yo, these are
spy devices.
These are not no APs, no bust down rollies. This is like some shit that you can actually put a tracking device in. In all of Jeffrey Epstein's pictures, a lot of them, the victims and core are wearing these chunky watches. So there's one here, big chunky watch right here, and Jeffrey is even putting a watch on this.
Oh my god!
In this picture, yeah.
You know what it's for?
What?
Because he's the one controlling the.
100%.
So when he gets a celebrity with them,
so he ain't nothing but a big pimp. This ain't nothing more than like a pimp. If you got slaves living in your house, underage girls that can't never leave the island, can't never leave your ranch or nothing, cause you got military in pocket. Shit, if he say go bomb Afghanistan, he could tell the president go bomb it right now, and I bet you the president would do it. That's how much power this man got, bro.
They can get all the incriminating footage. Like, yo, you know what? Come to my island. Let's party.
Yeah.
Let's party. I'm gonna send you a girl. Little do you know, she's on. Oh my. Everything you do with that girl is recorded, and I have the information now. Oh, you want to be in this movie? Nah, you're gonna do my movie instead. If you don't, oh, check this out. Listen to this. Yeah, that's you. That's you, fam. That's you. We got your boy.
You need to watch this.
So tell me, you said a lot of witchcraft in Africa. I was like, there's more witchcraft in America than anywhere in the world.
Really?
I'm serious. It's just packaged differently. It's packaged in a way that people have accepted it. People accept white witches. There's no such thing as a good witch. None. All witchcraft is bad. Anybody that is connecting with the devil, whether it's New Age, whether it's witchcraft, whether it's Church of Satan, Scientology, it's all the devil. Here in America, they think witchcraft is cute. It's not. If you open the door and allow the devil into your life, it will bring the attributes of the devil. The attributes of the devil is to steal, to kill, to destroy. Homes, families, children, businesses, just everything. And you can see how much our society has gone to a place where it's just so dark and demonic.
You want to hear something really fascinating? Sure.
There was an altar found in Israel.
And I believe that because I see that on social media all day long. Somebody always destroying somebody else.
Joshua's altar. So Joshua's altar was excavated and they took the spoils from it and they find this little lead tablet about that big. And they know that something's going on with this. Because of computers and where we are, they're able to read what the script says. Joshua's altar is built right at the gateway to the promised land. And it says this: cursed, 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 cursed of Yahweh, you will die cursed, 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 cursed. So I was on Zoom call with the archaeologist in Israel when he did the presentation on this. And I said, I understand where it is, but this is not to the people of Israel. This cursed tablet is to the people in the land. And also, when it says Yahweh, it's the first time that Yahweh is mentioned anywhere. And the archaeologists, we got to go back to school. What are we looking at here? It's all written in Proto-Canaanite, which of course I can't read, but they can. And that cursed tablet, in my opinion, this cursing is to the inhabitants of the land, which are the seed of the dragon, which are the Nephilim tribes, which were never supposed to be there.
Well, told you, bruh. So it would sound crazy coming from me if I say y'all ain't the Canaanites. Y'all not the 12 tribes of Israel. That would sound crazy. But he just told you the straight up truth.
Well, technically, he's not wrong.
Obama is not our first black president. Can you explain to people what you were talking about?
You know, people are saying Obama's the first black president. And he's not. He's the first mixed race president. This whole Obama thing that everybody seems to forget that he had a mama and she was white.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, if you got two different colored parents,
they just conveniently forget that Barack had a mama and she was white. Very white, American, Kansas, middle of America. There was no argument about who he is and what he is. America's first black president hasn't arisen yet. He's not America's first black president.
And make it so bad, if you go to his stepdaddy, the one that she married the biggest, or is a man, he big, his name, I forgot his name. That's Barack's stepdad. He was controlled over the oil. I forgot what land it was. And he was the man. He was connected to world leaders. Barack's stepdaddy got more power than the presidents. That's who George Bush linked up with his stepdaddy. That's how Obama became. Man, bro, this shit is the most craziest story. You know what I'm saying?
He's America's first mixed race president.
Can I get your name and badge number?
For what?
So I know who I'm making a complaint against.
For what?
For speeding. I have you recorded doing 80 miles an hour in a 65-mile-an-hour zone. No headlights, no sirens. So I wanted to film hypocrisy at its finest.
License, registration, proof, insurance.
No.
Yes?
No.
After the release of the Epstein files, this video took on a completely different meaning.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Good evening, godless sodomites.
Ooh.
What are you doing?
Sodomites. They talked about the sodomites in the Bible, right? Look.
I'm bringing the truth, John.
What's the
We're
truth?
in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
You can't just read the prompter.
Belly of the
I'm reading
beast.
the prompter in here. You can read that pablum.
Reality television celebrates the human condition.
It warps the minds of our children and weakens the resolve of our allies.
We're here to honor achievement in that category.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Ooh.
Ghislaine Maxwell, but her email's redacted here. From 2002, hi Aunt Ghislaine, I hope you are well. I look forward to seeing you. When that might be, however, I'm not sure. I'll email you when I'm able to do something with you. As for my, quote, wish list, unquote, of, quote, actresses I'd like to do nasty things to, unquote, which she says that in a way as if she has asked him this already.
So, just think about it. Just say you got a world leader and be like, damn, I like Nicki Minaj. Fly her on out here. Then they fly Nicki Minaj out there and bust Nicki Minaj up and send her back to the United States. Look what this map shows.
Have you seen this 1943 American School of Air map?
Air map.
It's really interesting. I find the most interesting, though, is how they depict the Antarctica area
surrounded.
The entire area when it's flattened or flat. I don't know.
So
I find it interesting.
It's like,
what do you think?
We inside of Antarctica. Antarctica is around us. This is what this dude was talking about. 607, the ice wall. Look what he said.
So Elon Musk, if you watch this, listen, Elon Musk say he got people to go to Mars. He's not talking about Mars, he's talking about the Mars, and that's over the ice wall. So he already got people going over there. Elon Musk, if you watch this, I'm the one on GDBD Vice Lord. That's all I'm going with Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, if you watch this, listen. They want to keep fighting, so now they going hug. Let me tell you, they brothers.
And them some pretty ass dogs. There, I think this is it. Hold on, let me see if this is it.
It's called a home equity agreement, and I got $143,000.
Everybody want to talk about Tupac because Tupac spoke knowledge, but Tupac got that knowledge from his mama, and the difference between knowledge and wisdom.
Hold on.
Right now, gang, it probably ain't rhyming.
Damn,
but
bro,
it's
I
on
need
purpose.
to find
right?
that junk, bro.
Gotta keep it real, gang.
I seen the clip of you. I seen the clip of you freestyling it.
Come on, gang. What the fuck you talking about? I don't give a fuck about no rap. Come on, gang.
You got a lot of good comments, bro.
Come on, gang. I got my rap. Come on, gang. Come on, gang. How you looking so?
Now, hold on, my man. Where your shoes at? And why you know, bro? Like, why we in the interview? Why are you looking?
Man, whatever I want to do while I'm in this body, I can do.
Here you go.
So, like,
come on, gang.
Check this out.
Consequence to just.
Yeah, it's consequence. That's what the last time. So it's consequences. So if I want to be evil and do evil, I can do a whole lot of evil shit. But then I gotta come back again.
No, wait. No, I'm curious because I watched, what was it, True Detective? It's just TV, and I feel like they show us things in TV that they're prepping us for what's happening in the real world. And they had a season in Antarctica to where it feels like us as humans, that's a place that we're not supposed to be. But yet there are some people that live there. Is there something we're missing that we need to unlock in that ice out there?
Gang, it's blue people that live in Antarctica. They blue.
Oh.
It's places in Antarctica where the sun can't reach.
Correct.
That's what I'm talking about. Like the sun can't reach. It's things under the ground, and I don't know if I can say this, right? Because a lot of things I can't say. But I'm going to say it anyway.
I believe everything that man about to say.
All the fires, they start from Antarctica. Inside, under the ice. Yeah. Energy. Just like the ones that was in the pyramid. But they underground. The pyramids are now under the ground, gang.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they not on top no more.
They say hell, the seventh layer of hell was ice.
Ain't no hell. That's a trick. That's a trick. Ain't no hell. Let me tell you something. They told you was born in a sin, right? Because I know you're going to say this. No, you was born in a sine wave. It's S-I-N-E wave. Like your phone. Look at your phone right now, right? It's on Apple Music. You look at the music, it's going to be like a wave. You was born in that wave. And ain't really like no good and bad. It's everything about the in line. You got it in line. So they say it's good and bad, but bad and good is kind of like the same. Bad is like good pre-evolved. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Everything's the same.
Now you mentioned
ain't no bad, ain't no good. I know you read the Bible, right? Like, I read the Bible, and I love the Bible, but the first chapter of the Bible, to let you know, is written by the devil. And I'm going to tell you why, right?
Man, this is why I love this type of stuff, bro. This is why I love, because you got to go back to the book of Genesis. If you want to start off with the fallen angels, you got to start in the book of Genesis.
Because the first thing, you know, what Eve do?
She turned on Adam, pulled the apple.
Yeah, apple.
Listened to the snake.
What was the apple? Apple had the knowledge of what? Good and bad?
Yeah. Awareness.
So she didn't know whether it was good or bad to eat the apple.
Correct.
So why he gonna punish her after? What kind of God punish you after? If I don't know. If I don't know, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it real, right?
Well, technically, the punishment wasn't for Eve; it was for Adam for denying what he was her responsibility.
How can you know that the knowledge was in the tree? That was the knowledge. That was the knowledge between good and evil. That's how you supposed to know. So if you bit it, you didn't know.
Howdy, Roadrunner. You're very fast.
Well, I drink Red Bull.
But you do realize...
Yes, Red Bull gives you wings.
I'm glad this commercial came up. You see how they got Red Bull drinks? It give you wings. This the same shit we trying to expose. And look how clever they could use this for marketing strategy. And could, man, golly.
But, I'm scared of heights.
So you should be.
No, but Adam knew he was responsible for Eve.
You confused. You confused. Hallelujah then.
Wait.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Oh my.
Praise the Lord.
Amen.
But if she didn't bite the apple, people would have went on knowing that they're naked in this world. And I don't know if we could live in a world where everybody butt ass naked.
He said when she bit the apple. Well, I don't know. I'm confused.
It could be apple or apple. It could
Listen,
tomato.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, right? God and the devil the same. I told you that before. But I'm gonna tell you how. Because last time you didn't know how Jesus was here, right? I'm gonna tell you how. So whatever God did to you, he did to himself. So if God took you and made a woman, he had to take himself and make a woman. Because you know why? we always know God was gay. He was a man and a woman. He was bisexual. Right?
Yeah, unisex.
Yeah, he was unisex. So he made a woman from himself. And that woman was Lucifer. And then they had Jesus. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
Mm.
But then he turned her to salt. But then salt kind of means purity. Right? So it ain't no bad. The devil not bad. It's just like her and like God going through something like that.
And I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be blasphemous.
You can do that.
Are you saying God is more like a transgender?
God is gay.
Like a
Yeah,
trans
he's transgender.
Yeah, like I go back and forth if I want.
No, he just both.
Okay.
You can fuck yourself if you want to.
Oh, jeez.
No, you saying Jesus? That's not.
Well, no, that was just more. Just that wouldn't even. I wasn't even talking about Jesus or yeah. We,
I know.
So let's stay within this realm. Let's stay within this room. Yeah. So we spoke on last night. We talked about the cup. We talked about black nails.
We're not gonna talk about that either. I'm not gay.
But
you got a lot of people thinking I'm gay. They hear me thinking I'm gay. I'm not gay. Now you try to unlock that. You ain't unlocked that. I'm not bad.
Yeah, he looking at somebody else.
Oh no, I'm looking at you. Y'all passing that mic around.
Damn.
I don't know.
So let me ask you this: what is evil then? What is evil? Like, how do we?
There's no such thing as evil. I told you, everything is about alignment. It just don't align.
I see what you mean. I'm catching you now. I'm catching your drift now.
It's no bad. It's either it's align or it don't. I'm talking about. It's like love and lust. It's the same, but you gotta make lust evolve to love, and then you good. So you can start off with lust if you want. So you can get a little pussy, a little booty, whatever you want.
No, but
which one you want to do?
Okay.
It's the same, gang. I keep telling you, it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same. Girl booty, boy booty, all the same.
Wait. So they might ask, does 607 Unc prefer the front door or the back door?
I'm from back door.
Oh, okay. Goddamn.
I know, but probably not the back door. You think?
I mean,
yeah, I'm a back door. We rob, shoot, and kill and shit. For our friends and shit, our cousins, our neighbors.
Yeah, not the neighbors.
Right.
Okay.
What about Black History Month? Yeah.
That's love month. That ain't Black History Month.
Why isn't it?
Month for Black History. Every month is Black History. I mean, we created everything. So why we need a month for that? I don't know. I don't celebrate that.
I'm ready for the ice wall, bruh.
I don't know. I'm confused, man. Ain't nothing real. The world simulation. So,
Your family come in saying happy birthday.
Same. But you like to feel all the devil is God.
I ain't with it.
So God is confusion?
You devil confused. You saying God is confused. So I mean you confused.
Damn.
I didn't say
no, you confused.
No, I'm confused.
So you're God.
Yeah, I'm God of this. Like I'm
But also you're the
the man explained the ice wall so cold.
I that too. Whatever I want to do while I'm in this body, I can do because I'm God.
So like,
come on, gang.
They said this was him.
It's more than an SUV. It's your Chevy Equinox.
And I was like, damn, if that's actually him.
Why are you not getting powerful erections even after taking an ED medication? It comes down to how arousal really works.
Let's start with the vibration of love.
Man, look, check this out.
I love you.
I had seen the clip. Love you too, bitch.
Hey, you set this up. Fuck, yo. You said
he ain't asking the question yet.
He better not.
He ain't asking yet.
What clip you talking about?
Today.
Swing on me first. Swing on my first. Swing on me first. So that way I gotta reach and clap your ass. Swing on me first.
I think he got a gun in his hand.
That's him.
Quit playing with me, bro. That bite. I'm saying though, but I just wanted to ask you. I had seen this clip, you feel me, and it looked like.
Damn, bro. I didn't know that was him. If that's him, I'm like, damn. Man, I wish I could find the ice wall. This it. That's the outfit right here. Here go the ice wall, y'all. Got it. Come on, goddamn, stop buffing. Get right, goddamn it. Get right.
Can you tell us what's in Antarctica? What? You download it. Go ahead. Is it something we should be scared of? Happy for? Proud of?
Listen, I don't want to say this, but I gotta say it. So you know, Antarctica, it's ice, right? And it's made of ice. But you know what the ice do?
Melt?
Nah. When you take it, it cure everything, and it like make you live forever. That's what your mom. A lot of people don't know. But when they found out, the whole world, listen, the whole world heads, they made a treaty to say nobody can come there. You can go so far, but you can't get to that ice.
That's true.
And that ice is gonna save your life. But they won't let you get it, right? But they let certain people get it that been here a long time, been living a long time. Y'all don't know it. Y'all keep saying he look like him. He look like him. Yeah, that's him.
I've been seeing shit like that on the internet. So
No, I'm for real. Y'all think I'm playing. You on the internet
There's
shit,
like
I'm
a
for
picture
real.
of Pharrell, but he's like,
I don't know about this shit. I can't talk.
He's like
I
an
can't
Indian.
tell the secrets. I can just tell you what you need to know, but I can't put names and shit on it. I keep telling you that. I can't put names on it.
Damn,
I can tell you
bruh.
the truth, but I can't put names on it. The ice itself, yes. But once you Antarctica, a lot of other shit happen, right? So everything that you think that's over here, that's coming over here, that they say, it come from over there. So all the aliens, everything come from over there. Not up, not down, but straight over, right? So the giants come from over there. The dragons come from over there. Everything is over there. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
So, look, to make a long story short, if you look at this video again,
3 American School of Air map.
Oh, hell.
It's really interesting. I find the most interesting, though, is how they depict the Antarctica area all the way around
the world.
the entire
I mean,
area when it's flattened or flat. I don't know. Find it interesting. What do you think? Check it out. Here's it all the way down, and this is what it was here. CBS American School of Air Age Map of the World, a polar projection.
Whoa.
There's Australia here. And these are all the different routes. It's pretty cool. And they show the different miles, Honolulu to San Francisco. It's really interesting.
So,
but yeah, check out the whole thing here.
that's crazy that if Antarctica, so they depict Antarctica is around the world and we floating on water and so this means we floating on a big ass drop of water with land on top of the water, right? So we'll be looking up to see the sun and the stars. And the sun goes around, right? The sun goes around. It makes so much sense to me now, bruh.
It's pretty cool. Just wanted to share it with you. I haven't really shown this map yet, and if you go even down here, you can see where it's separated quite a bit, and a lot of the older maps that I have show those areas very close, so this is interesting and perhaps an older style map. In the middle here we have just the ocean. We got the Union of Soviet Social Republic, USSR.
Yeah!
Obviously it was during that time.
Has anyone ever seen the south coast of Antarctica?
Oh, hell.
No. Yeah. And so that's a mystery of itself. Like, no.
So this is what they did. So what they did was made it look like an island on the map, bro.
Has ever been to the south coast of Antarctica. But as the ice capsules are melting, and I'm not making a comment on global warming here or not, but like, because that can be controversial, but as the ice capsulages are melting, it's revealing a lot. So they found these 2 kayakers that were kayaking in Antarctica. They wanted to be the first to kayak through a river that opened up. They came across these massive statues. I posted a video on this. These massive statues that have been under the ice for all these years. The crazy thing is they're like, are these Greek? Are these Roman? Or are these Egyptian? So it looks like ancient civilizations had a connection to Antarctica. And for
So He don't sound too crazy when he say this
made a
shit.
treaty to say nobody can't come there. You can go so far, but you can't get to that ice.
That's true.
And that ice is gonna save your life, but they won't let you get it, right? But they let certain people get it that been here a long time, been living a long time. Y'all don't know it. Y'all keep saying he look like him. He look like him. Yeah, that's him.
I've been seeing shit
Yeah,
like
that's
that on
him.
the internet.
No,
like
I'm
the
for real.
Family
Y'all think I'm
Feud?
playing. You on
There's,
the internet
there's
shit,
like a
I'm for
picture
real.
of Pharrell, but he's like,
Y'all
So it makes me think like, don't y'all know when you see like little movies about time traveler, like you'll see a video clip of like, hey, this actor look like this actor. You know what I'm saying? Just say like they'll see an actor be like, look, this actor must have been a time traveler because you can see old, just say like an ancient picture, be like, damn, that dude look like that person. What if you got Hermes that can be 500 years old and still look just like us? I'm starting to think like that now. It can still look young. Then we'll die. They will still be living. And next thing you know, golly, bro, I don't be want to look into all this stuff like that, but golly.
Sure, the world governances are hiding stuff there.
So what did they establish it is?
I mean,
is it Egyptian? Is it Roman? Like what
Egypt,
we think it's Roman.
Egyptian.
They think it's
Roman.
Like, the Egyptians
All
traveled more
the
of the world than
fallen
we think,
angels.
and so most stuff we come across is Egyptian. But this one was Roman.
Also, I heard that when you fly over Antarctica, and obviously I don't know, I'm just hearing all these stories, but I keep hearing about this story that there's a big hole.
Yeah.
Is that real or not real?
I think it has something to do with the south coast of Antarctica.
Ooh.
You gotta see it from my perspective. What the did I just walk into? Hey guys,
Man, I won't be surprised. Look what this look like. A fraternity hazing exposed by the police, bro. Do this look normal to y'all?
This stops here, guys. This is a police department. This stops here. Who's in charge?
We're upstairs.
Looks like we have quite a bit of hazing. So I'm gonna ask again, who's in charge?
We can talk upstairs.
No, we're gonna talk right here. Who's in charge?
I don't have to tell you. You guys had to do this too, huh? I don't know what this is. It's not like you guys didn't know there was 15, 20 people down in your basement. It's not that dumb. What's all over you guys? It's just water. It's just water? Does anyone want to be forthcoming on what's going on? Celebration. Nobody?
Celebration.
Of life. Okay,
Celebration of
Where
life.
you guys going now?
I bet you they just killed somebody, bro. I bet you they just killed somebody.
What's on your neck?
I don't know. I can't see.
That looks like is it? Shining your light. Is it? That's what I'm asking. Want to taste it? No. Okay. Do you see why we're here? Why
You know he messed up. Told the police to taste the blood. Why would he have blood on him? Where it come from? If nobody ain't cut, look at all of them, bruh. What they doing?
Because you got to see it from my perspective. What the did I just walk into?
Hey guys, what's going on here? This stops here, guys. This is a police department. This stops here. Who's in charge?
We're upstairs.
Looks like we have quite a bit of hazing. So I'm gonna ask again, who's in charge?
We can talk upstairs.
No, we're gonna talk right here. Who's in charge?
I don't have to tell you. You guys had to do this too, huh? I don't know what this is. It's not like you guys didn't know there was 15, 20 people down in your basement. It's not that dumb. What's all over you guys?
Somebody sneezed.
Just water? Does anyone want to be forthcoming on what's going on? Celebration. Nobody? Celebration or what? Of life. Okay, sweet. Where are you guys going now? What's on your neck?
I don't know. I can't see.
That looks like is it? Shining your light. Is it? That's what I'm asking. Want to taste it? No. Okay. Do you see why we're here? Why we're asking questions? I don't know. You got the wrong guy.
You want to hear something really fascinating?
Sure. Pisces.
Man, it sound like them folk, he more scared than any goddamn thing. I believe they probably killed somebody in that junk, and that's what they mean celebration of life. And were probably drinking their blood. And the police walked in like, what's that on blood? Nah, taste it, it's blood.
Became the symbol of Christ in the early church. It was the age of Christ, the age of Pisces. And Jesus said at the end of the age, what age was he referring to? This one. This age, the one in which he was born, these things would happen. And then in Revelation, calculate the number of the beast, 666. 6 times 6 times 6, 216. Again, in the ancient world, you could take that zero off and it still represents the same number. 2,160, it's the duration of a precessional age. So you calculate from the birth of Christ, 2,160 years. We're in the year 2022. So you add on the 4 BC, because Jesus wasn't born on 1 AD, he was born probably around 4 to 5 BC, so that puts us around really 2026, or thereabouts. So 2026, 25 years since the birth of Christ, and an age has 2,160 years. We're getting pretty close.
Woo!
If I was handicapped, it's because of these damn legs.
You want to hear something really fascinating?
Sure. Lucifer knows that the dragon slayer, that the savior, the Messiah who's going to crush his head is coming through the line of Adam.
Right.
So if he can destroy the earth, if he can corrupt the earth, he can forestall what I call the dragon slayer prophecy, his fate. But he can't, because God preserves the seed of Adam and Eve through Noah. God selected the animal to make sure that only the animals that were not genetically corrupted would repopulate the earth in the wake of the flood. You have the Anakim. Yeah. You have the Zamzummim. You have the Rephaim. You have these tribes of giants in the post-flood world inhabiting Canaan. The flood was localized to Mesopotamia, to the ancient Near East, so that every mountain in the ancient Near East, every high hill in the ancient Near East that was visible in that region that Noah was living in was submerged, or was temporarily submerged, or was submerged for a period of time, what have you.
There's over 1.5 million kids in illegal
Testing
child labor
purpose? Yeah.
in Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana, where almost all the world's cacao comes from. It's in West Africa.
Cacao.
And so I actually talked to a lot of other big chocolate companies,
Yeah.
and they're just kind of like, yeah, child labor is just how you get cacao. You know, there's nothing you can
Well, it's a good. Child labor is better because that way, you can pay them less.
That's why I believe all the jobs went to those foreign countries. Cause they got slave people working in them jobs. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that, bro.
And sometimes you don't have to pay them at all. You see what I'm saying, right? Because that saves a lot of money.
I can't fathom the idea that I'm unintentionally bleaching my vagine, bleaching my bum, and my...
It's the legend himself, Jimmy Dore, political commentator, comedian, host of the Jimmy Dore Show, and one day, I hope, a candidate for the presidency of the United States of America.
So basically, he telling everybody Jeffrey Epstein's still alive. They know Maxwell is out of jail. Right? They know all of this. Look what Ryan Garcia said.
Think about how spiritual these times are. These people are doing these things because they believe they're getting some type of power from an entity, and they're showing that they believe in it, and that's how they're getting all this power. Like, you're living in a time where people just talked about it, now it's right in front of your face. Isn't that kind of crazy? No, the spirit, I feel like the spiritual world and the physical world are kind of like mashing together, and you can kind of see that it's all real. Yeah. So you better get right with God.
Yeah.
Either pick God or you're going with the devil, because you can't just be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
you got to be all in or all out.
My body truly
So
grew
now
weary of
look.
bending over to trim my nails, often pricking myself
If you go
in
to
the process.
TMZ, right?
The search for Nancy got through.
Look at all these ransom. Check this out. This is what I discovered. The Nancy Gertrude ransom demand letter. The man got about 8-9 goddamn ransom letters. Everybody supposed to know the narrative. You know, you got kidnappers. Nobody can find them. They demanding bitcoins. And this sounds just like the movie Ransom. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And this was in 96. So actually, this movie is like a prediction of this. Man.
What if a master engraver could reveal the hidden skull inside a 70-year-old coin right before your eyes?
Watch
it all
this.
starts with a 1954 Benjamin Franklin $50, a piece of 90% silver history. Because the artist needs a perfect guide, he carefully marks out the face. But this isn't just about removing metal, it's about exposing a hidden form trapped inside. So with incredible precision, he begins to carve, peeling back the layers of history one sliver at a time. Just when you think you see the shape, the real detail work begins. This isn't a generic skull, it's a personality emerging from the silver, from the hollowed eyes to the individual teeth. The final brush away reveals the masterpiece. Benjamin Franklin is gone, replaced by a hauntingly detailed skull, turning a piece of American history into a modern work of art. If this blew your mind, you know what to do.
Golly. Now, watch this.
On a couple of those albums, they was like, man, Bone Thugs, they dark.
We played the Ouija board and we wrote a song about it. So we wrote a song about pretty much everything that we did. And we stopped playing the Ouija board. We was sitting on a bunk bed and Lazy was asking who was gonna die first in his family when he found out it was somebody that he didn't want. So he threw the Ouija board and then they picked it back up and then beds started falling down. So a whole bunch of stuff started happening.
And I'm not making no excuses. The Ouija board that we played with was a board game made by Parker Brothers. Shouldn't have been partaking in, point blank, bottom line, period. Should have stayed away from it.
Right, I ain't with that no more. You know, we learned our lesson hands-on. And then when Eazy-E, he was like, y'all gotta do that song, man. I like that Ouija song y'all did, man. Then he started talking backwards. And then after he passed, here comes the company. What we need to do, let's make some money off of it. So they put that mysterious back in the days, you know, CD covers and reading CD covers was the thing to do. And it manifested from there.
You won't believe what happens.
How did you get them alone?
Grooming. I would check out their family situation. I would check out their clothing to see how well they were, you know, financially. I would check out their social interaction with other kids. You know, when we were on the ballparks or on the gym floor, you know, I would make sure which ones I wanted to molest. I would give them special attention, congratulate them, talk to them when I know that I would never be allowed to talk to anybody else, you know, aside from everybody. I would give them the attention that an official is not supposed to give anybody. And it made them feel like, wow, he's paying me attention. You know, it is a direct form of grooming.
Were there certain characteristics that you looked for in children before molesting them?
In children, yes, but more I also looked at their families. If I thought the father was a threat, I would not approach the child. If I thought that the child had friends that he would tell, I would not approach him. If I thought the child had friends that were in the same capacity he was, I would approach him, for the simple fact that if I could molest him, I could lure him into believing, grooming him into believing that he would enjoy it. And therefore, I could manipulate him into having his other friends come and be molested by me as well.
So perhaps a child that doesn't really have a whole lot of friends, maybe not really a strong family, things like that.
Yes, no spiritual values, weak in education, you know, needs help in many ways, even from split parenting. You know, has a mother who may be having problems with the family, you know, well, here comes superhero in to help out, you know, wow, well, thank you very much. No problem. You ever need me to take them away for the night so you can have a night out? No problem. It works.
Actually, the Jetsons don't live in the sky because it's the future. They live there because they can't go down. The surface is still contaminated. And the Flintstones are proof of what happened to those who stayed. Look at the evidence. In 396 episodes, the Jetsons never show what's below the clouds. Never. The cars fly, the buildings float, but no one touches the ground. Actually, in 1987, there was an official crossover. Jetsons and Flintstones met each other. Same timeline, not future and past, the same present. The Jetsons went down once and found what remained of humanity. Notice the technology. Jetsons have television, Flintstones have stone television, Jetsons have telephone. Flintstones have bone telephone. They're the same inventions, one in its original form, the other rebuilt with what was left. Actually, the Jetsons know what happened. That's why Rosie does all the outside work. That's why the children never play outdoors. That's why George panics when something falls. They're afraid of what's below. The most disturbing evidence, the names in bedrock, Flintstone, fire-starting rock, rubble, debris, names of destruction. The Flintstones don't know where they came from. The Jetsons know, and they never told. Actually, the 1987 crossover was buried because it showed the truth. The rich went to the sky. The poor stayed below. George knows. Jane knows. Elroy and Judy will never find out because parents don't tell their children that they left the rest of humanity to die. The Flintstones aren't the past. They're what the Jetsons left behind.
Now, check this out. Don't you know in school they taught us about dinosaurs and all of this, right? I want to know if them actually was, you know, like dragons. You know how they depict like Tyrannosaurus and you know what I'm saying? There could be actually hybrid breeds and I don't know. But goddamn it, I know all this ain't even no conspiracy theory no more. The man is with the Pope. Look. Underage girl. We already know what the Pope like. They was talking about his island. We're gonna take him to the Pleasure Island. Nickelodeon, look. All the kids. Peter Pan. And that's why Michael Jackson, look, that's why Michael Jackson got his own ranch and called it Neverland. That's why Michael Jackson brought all those kids like, no, don't go to Epstein Island. Come to my Neverland ranch. Look. Cannabis. So what all those victims at now?
Ellen DeGeneres is being accused of being, quote, Hollywood's most prolific cannibal, linked to bags of baby flesh in the Epstein files. So I searched the DOJ's...
That's crazy. And this in the files. If she in the file and they saying this lady eat humans, how she can still be able on the TV show?
Entire Epstein data dump myself, and I pulled every file that mentions Ellen DeGeneres. And what the files actually show is very different from what people are claiming. I break it all down, exactly what's real and what isn't, in the related video on your screen, or click the pinned link in the comments.
You guys, I just found the biggest Epstein rabbit hole thus far, so sit back, get your snacks, we're going in. Now, if you go through the files, you'll see teeth or teeth cleaning come up a lot in the files, which could be code word for something else. And let's not forget, teeth is actually mentioned over 18.
If you go to the P. Diddy case, how he got popped, did they show you P. Diddy house is just like the Jeffrey Epstein, got a dental office, an autopsy room in that mansion, bruh. You could take these little kids in there and do a whole operation season. Then look at all these face masks on the wall. I bet you these is real people on the wall.
1,800 times in the files, and yes, that's a real picture of a dentist chair on the island. Now, on one hand, Ivy could be a person who works at the dental office, like it says here. Tell Ivy that it will take extra time as the girl's teeth are disgusting. But that's where it just begins, because this Ivy shows up where it says, Ivy gives you a kiss. Who is this? Which leads me to this Ivy Nash. Now, she has multiple accounts on X, but this particular account is very interesting because of who she follows. Now, she only follows 5 people, but the last 3 is Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Susan Hamlin. And you could tell it's Epstein only because the JEE gives it away, because it's the same way he uses it in his email, JEE Vacation. Now, we'll get to Susan Hamlin in a minute, but on Ivy Nash's other X account, she has this as her banner where it says, Mossad agent. She's even playing in everybody's face saying this, oh, it was a compliment to call me a Mossad agent. Now she's responding to Elon's tweet saying, if she's a 10, you're an asset. And the Times article says, female spies are raging sex warfare to steal Silicon Valley secrets. Now at this point, we all have to assume if you're not a victim in the Epstein files, you're an asset to the network. Now she's dropping clues all over the place, like this one where she says, I'm approximately 47 pizza boxes tall. What? Oh, you mean like the code word pizza that we all know? And who's the 47th president of the United States? Trump. Now here's another clue that's left in her bio where it says chirp at presents to Internet Valley Elf, which looks like nothing at first, but if you take the first letter of every word and put it all together, CAPTIVE spells captive. What is going on? Now here's where it really gets interesting because all accounts, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Ivy Nash, they're all following each other, but they're also all following Susan Hamlin. Who is that? Oh, you mean this Susan Hamlin who's Epstein's assistant and could allegedly be a handler for Epstein. I mean, why would she instruct Epstein himself in this email to knock somebody off? And you could tell that it's her because the redaction was so bad by the FBI, you can literally see her name where it says from and to Jeffrey Epstein. So the question is she some type of captive asset to the network and or Jeffrey Epstein's daughter, because she does favor Anya Wick, who's allegedly Epstein's niece, who's also whistleblowing on everything, so there's that. Now there's a whole lot more I'm breaking down on my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
This is the saddest level of propaganda. Many of you have missed this, but the little boy who Bad Bunny handed his Grammy to at the Super Bowl was Liam Ramos. So this was the kid that was abandoned by his father as his father ran away from.
So it's about the ICE agent, right? So it was something about the little boy, the dad abandoned the child, and ICE took the child in custody, and people was like, release the child back. So the Super Bowl hired an actor that looked like the child, so Bad Bunny could give the impression like, I gave this award to the child that ICE took. And actually, it was all staged.
From ICE, and then his mother wouldn't take him in, so the police had to find a house for him to stay in. They thought that this was the kid in Bad Bunny's show. That boy that Bad Bunny gave his Grammy to was not Liam Ramos. The Grammy was given to a child actor, Lincoln Fox. He posted the moment on his official Instagram account. So Ed goes and he sees a Hispanic boy. Oh, it must be the same one. Wow.
See, now look. Nobody can even pull and verify is he an actor or not. Cause they said, he's a foreigner and he's a big actor, but nobody can't find no movies, no acting, no modeling, no kind of nothing. Watch this.
People are talking about this now.
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human and particularly the of children. Our future is our children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
So I tweet.
See that? Look. Human trafficking. If I tell y'all the government is behind the human trafficking, I would sound crazy.
Less than 10 minutes after I tweet that, I get a call from the commissioner of the NBA.
Stop it.
Agents, people like working with my foundation at the time, Texas, you gotta erase this tweet.
For all the Israeli fans, what message would you like to send for Israel?
Hopefully someday I can make it over there. Like I said, I've never been over there, but I've heard nothing but great things.
You want to hear something really fascinating?
Sure.
See
if
that?
you reckon the Genesis 5 genealogy through the Septuagint,
then you have approximately 1,200 years or 1,250 years from the descent of the watchers in the days of Jared to the flood, okay? Minimum. That's a 1,000-year Reich. And so the earth would have been absolutely dominated by the watchers.
See?
But from behind the thrones of their hybrid offspring. I call it.
So check this out. If you look how tall Nimrod was, it would make so much sense how they could lift these heavy ass stones, bruh. No wonder why some of these tombs is big as hell. Like, damn. They're just like, if something happened to Trey Gang and you buried this man in a stadium, like, damn, what the fuck?
Ruled by proxy. The watchers themselves don't have the authority to govern the earth. So they do it from behind the thrones of their human hybrid sons. So what I define this period of time of the rule of the watchers on earth through their hybrid sons as the empire of the gods. And I believe what the watchers did is precisely what we're told that the gods did in Plato's narrative of Atlantis, in the Critias and Timaeus dialogue. When Plato, this is where the story of Atlantis comes from.
If you're an Israeli intelligence officer and you want closely held information that somebody like Bill Clinton has, or Bill Gates, or Alan Dershowitz, or Prince Andrew, you're not going to recruit any of those people because they don't have traditional vulnerabilities that a CIA officer would be trained to look for, like a need for money or hatred of your government. So you're not going to recruit Bill Clinton. You're not going to recruit Bill Gates. What are you going to do? Give Bill Gates $1,000 a month? So you do the next best thing and you recruit the guy who has access to them. And you set him up in this beautiful mansion, you wire the house for video and audio, you bring in young girls, and you don't necessarily have to use any of those videos, but just in case, you have them in reserve. And then over martinis, as you're becoming the best friend with these people, they start confiding in you sensitive information, maybe in some cases classified information, and then you parrot that back to your handlers.
And there was the one where a child was praying to Jesus. Did you see that one, Jim?
No.
She said she felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her and he helped save her life. And then he writes, whoops. In response, Jeffrey Epstein says, you should dress up as him when you see her. You should dress up like Jesus when you see her. What the This is demonic. This is clearly demonic.
Prometheus runs so much deeper than anyone can possibly imagine. So the engineers come from the sky. They seed life on Earth and then return. And then at some point, they decide that humanity needs to be erased. Now, before I continue, I highly recommend you to read the Book of Enoch. And
read the Book of Enoch. This gonna be the mind blowing apart. Because you're gonna be like, damn. It's going to make you ask this question. The voice claiming to be God in the Bible, is it actually the devil? That's all that's just a question. You know what I'm saying? That's just a question that I'm asking myself, and I don't have the answer to that. Because the way it's going, it will make so much sense why this God in the Bible would tell these people to steal land, kill, and murder. Hold on.
Right back to this video. You just finished the Book of Enoch. Good. Proud of you. So in the book, as you all should have just read, a group called the Watchers descend to Earth. And in Mesopotamia myth, they're linked to what they called the Anunnaki. What's up, Joe Rogan? Sky gods who interact with humanity. The Watchers do three things. They descend They give forbidden knowledge, and they corrupt creation. They teach humans metallurgy, warfare, cosmetics, magic, knowledge before humanity is spiritually ready. Sound familiar? In Prometheus, the engineers give us DNA. They give us the spark of life. But they also create this black liquid that this dude's about to drink. It's a substance that mutates, destroys, and creates monsters. Creation and corruption come from the same source. In Enoch, the Watchers create the Nephilim, hybrid giants born from heaven and earth. These beings destabilize the world, and judgment follows. And in Prometheus, human contact with the engineer DNA creates the Deacon, a hybrid proto-xenomorph lineage. Again, heaven and humanity equals destabilized creation. The key idea, my fellow viewers, is this. They're not gods. They're powerful beings inside the whole of creation, just like the Watchers in the Book of Enoch. They descend, they interfere, and they leave chaos behind. This, Prometheus, is one of the oldest stories in the book. Angels who were never supposed to come down and start something new. What is your favorite line in Prometheus? Drop your comments down below. And don't forget to follow, like, share, and favorite for more deep dives into...
If there was a Muslim in this assembly, there would be a segregated prayer place there. They remember their gods on average 5 times a day. But we Christians, we remember our God once a week. Many of us, and I love Muslims, because they are more prayerful than us.
They trying to let this conversation simmer down, and I ain't going for it. I'm ready to...
He ain't lying about that. Muslims do pray more than Christians. Hold on.
Turn these Epstein files into the forensic files. Now, if y'all know who this is, it's Peter Thiel. Tell us what Peter Thiel do.
There's something called the PayPal Mafia. Here were the people involved with it. Number one is Peter Thiel. He's an interesting guy, but like, you would never know what the fuck he's up to.
That's dope. What do he do now, though?
Peter Thiel has a company called Palantir.
I wonder what this company is about.
In short, but it's a data company. It's a data analyst company.
I wonder who their biggest customer is.
Their number one customer is the government.
I wonder what his company pitch would have been.
Makes sense. We could figure out what someone's doing every minute of the day. They basically told the government, we have the resources and technology that if you wanted to spy on your citizens, you can.
See that?
You got to be something else up with that.
By the way, it's reported that supposedly they might be also being used by ICE.
Hold on, did he say ICE? I can't put my finger on it, but it felt like they just did something recently. But keep going.
Figure out illegal aliens in the United States and how they're moving. They have claimed that Palantir was important and integral in finding Osama bin Laden.
Let me guess, he worked close with the government now, huh?
Because of that, they have government contracts through the asshole.
All right, working for the government is bad, but it can't get worse, can it?
He has a company called Palantir. It's Peter Thiel's company. And look at
Palantir, Palantir?
Yes.
Why is Jeffrey Epstein advising an Israeli prime minister?
You know what? That's a great question. Care to tell us what?
So, check this out. Is this safe to say in the Bible? Everything about Israel. Everything what the Bible said about Israel. Look at the people the Bible exposing. So, if all these years, I'm thinking I'm a 12 tribes of Israel because it came out of Africa. That's a fact. So these were actually these people, and these who God was talking about in the Bible. Man, no. Because everything what the Bible says since day one, you can actually cut your TV on, your phone on, and can see these people, bro. Hold on.
Why? His name is in the Epstein files too.
So Mark and Elon and the Epstein files having dinner. Epstein is telling a dude from Israel about Peter, who was a data guy that worked with ICE and got a whole bunch of contracts with the government. Say, man, I'm going to bed.
I told you,
so
bro.
Let me show you from God's perspective. Each generation continued in the filth and the sin of the generation before. The Canaanites, right? He waited 400 years, it says. They would have a statue of Moloch or Baal, hands stretched out, and they would ignite the arms, torching hot, and would put a baby on it and scorch the baby to death, a live baby, in sacrifice to Moloch. And God says, enough. I'm now going to cut off the cancer, the gangrene, from spreading so it doesn't corrupt the rest of the geography. So I'm going to end this line of people by having the children being put to stop this wicked, evil immorality. Would God be justified? Children who do not know between right and wrong, who do not know about their moral responsibility, who are not aware of God, they die under God's eyes in a state of innocence. They're under the grace of God. So the saving benefits of Jesus are applied to them. So though their life ends here, their life begins with Jesus forever and ever.
Man, this shit
so it's win-win,
deep, bro.
The whiteboard in the Frink episode shows SHA 256.
Now, look, coming to find out, the people that founded The Simpsons is in the files.
Posted a solution on the whiteboard. Frank is ruined.
Did I do it? No.
I guess we'll never know.
Which is a cryptographic hash function created by the National Security Agency, the NSA. Well, do you want to know who worked for the NSA previously? Ripple CTO David Schwartz. And in 1988, the same year as the Economist Phoenix cover saying to get ready for a world currency, well, David Schwartz filed a patent for a multi-level distributed processing system the exact same year. And when you plug in David Schwartz into the Gematria calculator, it reveals God's secret plan, flip the switch, and XRP one world currency.
What?
Why do smart people always wait until the last minute? It turns out their brain is doing something that yours is not. Studies have found that people with higher IQs tend to procrastinate more than everyone else. And the reason is simple. They know.
If we are occupied by Israel, then what is their goal?
The greater Israel. The Israelis have this idea of manifest destiny. It is our destiny to control this much. Their idea is pretty much all of Palestine, about half of Lebanon, about half of Syria, all of Jordan, and a great swath of Saudi Arabia, what is now Saudi Arabia. Now you would think that seems pretty ambitious. All you have to do is look at an Israeli uniform right now. We have an American flag on our shoulder. Look at the Israeli uniforms.
Just like what the Bible said. That's crazy to me, bro. So look, how can we be the 12 tribes of Israel and we ain't over there fighting for this land? Look at the people that's fighting it. So when you read the Bible, you're going to have to ask yourself, be like, I want to know if This Bible here, is Lucifer disguising himself in this Bible? It's just a question. Because once you see and learn and be like, look at the Star of David. Come to find out the star is not shaped like this. It ain't even no such thing as a 6-point star or a 5-point star. This not a star in the sky, bro. That's what they taught you in school. What a star? Yeah, you want to be a star? We can make you stars.
They have a symbol of what they call the Greater Israel.
Why? Why do they want those specific regions?
They believe that that is their God-given land.
Whoa! Told you.
God gave it to us. We'll take it.
Mm.
In Dubai. Do you remember that?
Classic.
You know, we studied that for a long time. They killed a guy in a hotel room in Dubai, and then after they killed him, they were somehow able to lock the door from the inside of the hotel room. And we tried like magnets and different ways. We couldn't figure out how they did it.
Like a latched door?
They did the latch and this one. And the guy's in there dead, and the hotel couldn't even get it open. Yeah, they ended up sending somebody in from the balcony. And how do they do that?
Do you remember that?
Classic.
You know, we studied that for a long time. They killed a guy in a hotel room in Dubai, and then after they killed him, they were somehow able to lock the door from the inside of the hotel room.
Wow.
And we tried like magnets and different ways. We couldn't figure out how they did it.
Like a latched door?
They did the latch and this one. And the guy's in there dead, and the hotel couldn't even get it open. Yeah, they ended up sending somebody in from the balcony. And how do they do that?
What do we know about the pyramids? What do we actually know?
Look, he in the files. And it's funny that he know everything about the pyramids, but will get on the platform, act like he don't know, like it's a conspiracy theory with him.
I don't think we can be certain of anything. The pyramids are strange because the ones that were built earlier are more perfect than the later pyramids, which suggests that the Egyptians did not build the pyramid. They found that and then tried to replicate it later on and couldn't quite get it right.
But what about the mummies we found inside all the pyramids?
I've never found a mummy in a pyramid.
What?
The Great Pyramid of Giza.
What? Never found a mummy in the pyramid?
A mummy's been found there. There's a giant box in the king's chamber that's said to be a sarcophagus, but it's not the right shape or size for a mummy.
Huh.
See that?
Oh my God, this is terrifying.
This is a business model.
What kind of psychology does this child have with no exposure to its mother?
We have custom-built humans. Who doesn't want to have a child that's like you, but better, stronger, smarter?
What? Custom, man, these folk got custom kids. Man, they got one survivor saying that she was raised in an incubator. They took something out the female, right? Some organ, and they cloned the baby in the incubator and watched the baby grow. Look at Joe Rogan them. Look, they own this shit. Joe Rogan know the truth, bro. He know, but he gonna make it all conspiracy.
This is terrifying.
This is a business model.
What kind of psychology does this child have with no exposure to its mother?
We have custom-built humans. Who doesn't want to have a child that's like you, but better, stronger, smarter, better vision? Get rid of all the problems that I've got, or you've got, or whomever. Here's another fun fact. At bulk, whole genome sequencing is now about $300. Whole genome sequencing is the portal for selective engineering with Cas9 CRISPR systems. We're right on the threshold of...
And all is in the Epstein files. Cause look, Epstein was doing this same shit with the scientists and all the doctors.
Manipulating fundamentals of life in every species and humans. I'm not BSing. I mean, doesn't this look like it's something straight out of the Matrix?
100%.
You want to hear something really fascinating?
Sure.
Even native tribes have stories about giants having wars with giants, driving giants across the country. The famous one is the Lovelock Cave, which is in California. These are the red-headed giants. And red hair has been found in that cave, and giant sandals and clothing that is enormous. But it's always symbolic, it's allegory or whatever it is. But that's not what the native people say. They say that this was a cannibalistic tribe that they cornered in a cave and sealed it and set them on fire, essentially. And if you go to that cave, there is residue of the fire. There is one tribal leader who wore strands of red hair in her clothing for years. Smithsonian is a weird organization. We have records.
And once you go see, hear the story of the two brothers, Esau. You know Esau was a redhead, right?
Of them receiving bones of giants and artifacts, but then they lose them or they deny ever having them.
It took me 27 years to realize something incredible in Toy Story. Wait for it. So we knew Jessie had an owner before Andy. Her name was Emily. And in the flashback, Emily is always wearing a red cowboy hat. Now check this out. Years later, Andy is wearing a red cowboy hat, and at first I thought it was Woody's. But wait, Woody's hat is brown, while this one is red, just like Emily's. So what if Andy got the hat from his mother, who's actually Emily? Think about it. Emily had posters from a band, the Lemurs, all over her wall, and roller skates under her bed. And guess what Andy's mom is selling in the yard sale scene? The same roller skates and a cassette from the same band. So this means Andy's mom is actually Jessie's previous owner. How did I miss this?
What?
All right, you guys, has anybody seen the movie Blink Twice? It's basically about an island that some billionaire owns. And the women that are on the island are and abused, but they have no memory of it because of some flower on the island that erases your memory. The reason I bring this up is because I think the devil himself was doing the same thing. I came across a few emails, and he's telling Anne to ask Chris about his trumpet plants in his nursery. He also forwards an article and a video about scopolamine, a powerful drug growing in the forest of Colombia that eliminates free will. The flowers that he was growing on the island, they cause confusion, hallucinations, and can wipe a person's memory. And there are hundreds of victims that allege that they were drugged and then and on that island. Can you imagine what these girls, these children, not underage women, by the way, I continue to see that narrative, those words coming out of everybody's mouths. They're children, kids. Can you imagine what they went through? When you read the contents of these files, it's a mix of Blink Twice and Eyes Wide Shut, the movie from the 90s with Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. They've been rubbing this shit in our faces the entire time.
Real quick, what's the prices here on these three machines we've seen, Keith?
This one's list price at $49.99. This one goes.
People suspect that Ghislaine Maxwell was a power broker on Reddit. Allegedly.
Do you think that's real?
There's a lot of weird shit.
All right, what's the weird?
Well, like, a couple of things is that there's basically a Reddit account that is a mod on the top subreddits. World News and all the biggest ones that have millions of people that are getting their news every single day coming from Reddit. There's like a bigger conspiracy that like intelligence and like different foreign operatives are a part of this small community of people that control what you see on Reddit. Millions of people getting their information with a disordinately small group of anonymous editors. People don't suspect that this is true, that there is an account called Maxwell Hill that was disseminating a ton of information across all of these different subreddits, basically like promoting different ideas. People look at a lot of the comments and they say they're using a lot of like British colloquialisms, saying like bloody hell, spelling color O-U-R.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's even PLSE. Normally when people will abbreviate please, they'll do PLS. She's doing it the British way, PLSE. And if you look at the emails that she has corresponding with Jeffrey Epstein, there's a lot of the same words that are used. Not to mention that the day she was arrested, the account never posted again.
Whose face that is on the wall or the walls, which is creepy. Can you imagine going into the dentist's office and that's it?
What is that?
That's the dentist's office at Epstein Island.
And do you know what Jeffrey Epstein's last girlfriend went on to do as a profession?
What?
A dentist.
Oh, isn't that weird?
The last woman he dated before he died was a woman who went to dental school, practiced dentistry, and they have a dental. And there were reports that they were pulling the teeth out of the children. They were calling them blowholes. That was according to one report of a survivor. In the files, they pulled the teeth out so that they couldn't bite back during the sexual assaults.
Think about that.
What?
Think about that. You have a dentist's office to pull the teeth out of kids so they don't bite you and fight back. And then 2 for 1. When you, God forbid, kill these freaking poor kids, there's no evidence of their teeth. Because when people die, Pat, it's not the skull's nothing. It's your teeth. The dental records is how they identify you. So, and I know, and it's crazy. The more and more you're hearing the trap doors, all the parties, all the people, and all these names. That's the only messed up thing is they redacted everybody's name. Why can't we see who these people were?
That's what I said. That's crazy, bro.
Different. Now, how do we know that? Because there's a...
That's so crazy to me. So look, when I was doing my research, everything what Jeffrey Epstein said, I said, man, this man here actually exposed his damn self. And everybody along with it. But yeah, gang, I'm finna get on up about this, John. I just want to go live and just show y'all, man, because I'm on this Jeffrey Epstein stuff hard, bro. I got the files. I'm reading the same emails they got. I got all of this stuff. So, basically what I'm saying is this. What if we was all wrong about the Bible? Let's just say this. Just say, like, let me see, for a prime example. What Bible story I can go to for a prime example? Like, all right, we can go Moses' story. I need to go to the Bible though. And I just want you to hear the voice. Hold on.
In the Bible, there were many great leaders and prophets, but few have had.
No, I don't need this. But I'll figure that part out. So look, and if you look at Moses, look how they depicted Moses. Then they finna show you the routes, right? Now, look, if you look at the Gilgamesh, man, you need to, I'm telling y'all, that's why Hillary Clinton, I want to know where they discover King Nimrod tomb at. I want to see that jump, bro. Know what I'm saying? But yeah, gang, appreciate the love and the support, y'all. I'm gonna get on about this jump, and y'all know I'm going live tomorrow, so stay tuned, goddammit. You know what I'm talking about. And never give up on Kanika Jenkins, bro. Cause man, that lady brought me closer to God than anybody in the world, bro. You feel me, man? But, hi y'all. I'll be back.